at all yesterday. He pretty much went back all games.
Yeah, and who did you favor in this matchup?
I would have to give the slight edge to Solar, just because he's a beast.
Yeah, he just won DreamHack, right?
Indeed.
But do you think it's gonna be as one-sided as you know, esport gaming thinks, as the website, as I would say the community thinks, right? Like the community thinks Solar is gonna stomp MarineLorD. That's the general idea. Even Hydra, when I was talking to him yesterday, he said Solar is probably gonna win. So
I mean, he is probably gonna win, but I don't think it's gonna be that one-sided at all.
I think MarineLorD's gonna take it, man.
You think he's gonna take it? All right.
I don't know. Don't quote me on this, Diego, but you destroyed Solar the other day on the ladder. Do you 2-0 Solar by chance?
Yes, I.
Wow. You gotta brag about it in front of all these people?
You're the one who brought it up, Cats. But
well,
yeah, I did 2-0 him. And I had 30 spikes a minute.
Wow.
And I uploaded a video with commentary on YouTube.
Of course you did.
Just to think that he won DreamHack.
Yeah, right after he won. Dude, you should do that. Can we do that?
No, we cannot.
Can you please? Can you please just be like, I played Solar on the ladder and I 2-0'd him, and like, wow, you should say, wow, Solar is playing really good. And to think that just a week ago I 2-0'd him on the ladder, and then post the video in all caps with commentary.
No chance. I don't think anyone would ever do that, man. That would be just too mean.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think anyone would ever go that far to do something like that.
I think you could pull it off, man. Either way, we have on the top right-hand side of the map, as the Red Cirque playing for Samsung Galaxy Can. Is it Galaxy Can anymore? I think it's not Can anymore. It's Solar. No Can no more.
And on the bottom left, our first foreign hope of the day, playing for Team Millennium, it is MarineLorD.
Yeah. And we basically invited the best 3 foreigners right now, I think. One of each race. Obviously, it's arguable. I mean, for Terran, there are other people. Diego here just 2-0'd Solar recently with commentary on YouTube. And there are other really good Terrans out there. You know, Euthermal. I like Aegus, Massa's very good. Bunny's a little inactive right now, I think. But yeah, when he's in shape, he's up there, if not even the best. You know, Major and from Protoss, there's Little Bow, and then
Mana.
You know, Harstem, Mana. You know, there's a few boys. Petit Drogo. You know, Verdi.
Oh, Verdi.
And for Zerg, there's you know, Snoot, but there's also, you know, Nerchio, Petranus, the Lord Petranus, Sandster, recently doing very well.
Yes,
TLO,
yes.
TLO.
I was quite surprised by Sandster actually making round of 4. That was amazing. Good, man.
Indeed. But yeah, the point is we try to get the best foreigners possible, and I think we pretty much achieved that. Not to undersell anyone else though. And a very stellar lineup of Koreans, but yeah, not much to talk about this game so far. Everything's just going on pretty normally. Got a Marine opener actually, as opposed to a Reaper one.
Oh, was this a 13 gas? Yes, it was actually. So he's gonna get a very fast factory. Oh yeah, just normal opener, standard stuff.
So there we go. So there's a factory coming down, and that's about it. A bunker at the front, just playing it safe and solid. On Camp Zerg, there's not much going on either. There's just an extra standard queen. The gas is not particularly early or late.
He is stacking a lot of gas. Is it up to 160 gas? No speed, no lair yet.
Yeah, we might see a Roach opener. I mean, maybe he decided upon seeing the Marines that he wasn't going to use... Oh yeah, he goes for a very quick lair. We actually saw something very similar out of True, I want to say, yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Basically, when he wasn't going up against any early gas or any Reapers, he would sometimes try to get this lair in and sneak it in, because he figures it's not going to get scouted. He figures he's not going to need as many queens to push back the Reapers. He figures he can delay the speed. In this particular case, he started the speed not too long after the lair, but yeah, I like it. I like that he, you know, he basically says, I'm not gonna do anything with links and speed, so might as well sneak in drones while I can. Maybe get the lair a little bit quicker. Very nice there with a meal by MarineLorD, not wasting any minerals in case the game goes.
And look at this, MarineLorD starts stim pack. It could be just a mind game, but if it were, it would be more common to just get the concussive shells, just because it's a little bit cheaper. But yeah, it is looking like it's gonna be bio for the first time in this tournament for MarineLorD.
Yeah, actually, if we look at MarineLorD's vision, oh, he does know about the Overlord. So yeah, we might just see bio indeed. We've seen quite a few mind games as of late. The Overlord chooses to move in. I'm not sure why. You already saw what you need to see, right? Unless he thought it could be a fake.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to check for starports. Perhaps the starport was nearby and it was just a mind game after all.
Yeah, I mean, if there was one Marine out, that Overlord's dead. And I don't know, it seemed like a little bit of an unnecessary risk, but maybe he didn't want to get mind gamed.
Yeah. And the stim pack isn't being cancelled, so...
Yeah, and there's an Eve going down. Yeah. 2 more barracks, and that is confirmed bio, boys. So the Hellions trying to do what they can. They might actually... Nope. That queen is too powerful.
Does MarineLorD have any idea of what is going on? I don't think he did anything except poke the queens in the front.
Yeah, perhaps not. And that's the beauty. Oh, he knows about a
He
lair.
did a scan. That is pretty...
Yeah, that's
clever.
pretty big. He is going to start 1-1 anyway, but upon seeing a lair that early, yeah, he drops turrets, and he's going to have him right on time. This is very good play by MarineLorD. He needs at least 1 at his third as well. There we go. And these slings are being a little bit annoying. Now, I think on this map, if you're not going to veto it, you should have a Marine standing there. If you're comfortable on this map, if you're a Terran player, you should either have a Marine or an SCV or a supply depot spotting here, because this could become really dangerous if MarineLorD doesn't pay attention.
Indeed, it's gonna catch him off guard. And what's most dangerous is that he's transferring SCVs now.
Yeah.
And the mutas could kill the rocks and...
Oh, no, that would take too long, I think, though.
Would it though? Those rocks are very, very fragile.
He's
they
going
go down
for it.
so fast.
He's going for it. MarineLorD has to realize something's up here. He has to pull the Hellions on the low ground, yeah. I mean, he's like, why are you breaking my rocks? It seems like a useless time for your Muta who just finished, but... You know, if he's killing the rocks, it's for a reason, man. Oh my god.
And it's possible that the third might go down.
The third will go down. I don't see the third being saved here.
He has to lift it right now. And
right now.
There
yeah, he's gonna do it, but he needs to start backing it up. There we go.
Well, there's nothing he can do. He's just gonna take his losses and try to save the CC. But already quite the win for Solar.
Yeah, and I guess Solar didn't go for the CC. He's saying, okay, there's not enough Marines here, and with good Muta micro, he could take down all these Marines. There's no reason for him to be losing any Muta, really. He could just pull them back. They're not hard to individually micro, but maybe we are playing on the NA server, so maybe a little bit of latency, or maybe he's just not caring about it too much. But another Muta is actually gonna go down. But still doing incredible amounts of damage. I mean, oh, he was preoccupied in the front by the looks of it. So that explains a lot.
Forcing a pull on the SCVs at the natural as well. Losing more mining time and getting more ahead. This is already looking very fine for Solar. He is quite behind in upgrades, fortunately for Solar. MarineLorD didn't start his 2-2 just now, so he just has that opportunity to catch up.
Indeed. So MarineLorD's gonna try to retake his third. I guess that was somewhat of an investment by Solar, because I don't know, it seems like the lead he has isn't reflecting of how much damage he did there. I'm not sure. It's a little odd that there's this close in supply. Maybe MarineLorD hasn't been missing a beat, or maybe that investment by Solar was a little bit bigger than I thought, but I thought that was almost game-ending damage.
Yeah, quite probably. I don't know, man. Taking his fourth base, MarineLorD, he also doesn't have that many medevacs. He has 2 medevacs because Solar sniped that reactor, and I say this time and time again that sniping that reactor means so much. I was talking about this with a Hydra the other day, and I think he sniped I guess he was playing against Bolt on ladder, and he sniped the reactor off the start, but Bolt never remade the reactor. He just kept making medevacs one by one.
Yeah.
And it just makes the army so much weaker. You cannot stim as much as if you had two medevacs making at the same time.
Right.
And people don't seem to realize how big that is for the Terran.
Yeah.
And even if you're gonna rebuild the reactor, you lose another 50 seconds of medevac production. You know.
That's an excellent point, and it's one of those things that you know, like I hadn't thought about as a Zerg player. So, that's a beautiful thing about StarCraft, is knowing it all. Like being an expert at one race is one thing, but no one, I think, knows everything about the game, and that's some of the beauty of it, really. So this Widow Mines, though, ouch, really well done there by MarineLorD, I guess, placing those. But there's still a little too much by Solar, and it looks like it's gonna be lights out for the French Open today.
That was a quick game, quite clean.
I would say so. It was a little bit one-sided ever since Solar just got through the rocks undetected, I think so.
Yeah.
A little bit of a mistake by MarineLorD there, and one that I think he's not gonna make in a while, perhaps. I mean, there's only 2 vetoes, right? So what I'm thinking is MarineLorD might veto this map on the ladder.
True.
Because, you know, he might veto 3 maps. Maybe he's just not very experienced with this. Most series are best of 3.
Yeah.
Because that's quite a mistake, right? Not to put an SCV or a Marine. Like I rarely see Terrans that don't do it.
Yeah, I guess he. Yeah, I guess he's just not used to playing on this map, and it really caught him off guard.
Yeah.
But usually what you do is maybe you don't even have to detect the rocks, like leaving a depot there that it's just gonna get picked off by Mutalisks. But just placing a bunker at your third is already good enough. You know, that it buys enough time.
Yeah.
For you to bring your army over. But he didn't even have one, and that spelled disaster for MarineLords.
Yeah. Also with the rocks, I mean, you said it. You said the Mutas are gonna go for the rocks. I didn't think that was a thing. I personally veto that map.
Yeah. But yeah, those destructible rocks, they are so fragile. I think they have 500 HP. That's like the same as a depot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I've seen that used by Dark Templar play, and that seems really powerful in itself. But never seen it done for or by Muta to flooding with links like Solar just did. So cool stuff. Cool beans, man.
Cool beans.
Game 2, for anyone wondering, is gonna take place in Iron Fortress, one of the 4-player maps that has been the most loved by some people.
That's quite the description, but I would still have to give. I would still have to favor Cactus Valley over your.
Oh yeah, you like Cactus Valley better?
I think a lot of people prefer Cactus Valley over Iron Fortress.
I think I like Iron Fortress a little bit better, actually.
You do?
Why do you like Cactus Valley better?
I just think it's a finer map.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
it produces better games, I would say.
oh, okay, fair enough.
I think Iron Fortress most of the times is just too favored for mech, where you can get 4 bases so easily, and it just gives you too much opportunity for turtling.
Yeah, and those bases on the sides kind of push towards other bases
Yeah.
with siege tanks, so it's very good for mech indeed, and I bet that's what MarineLord's gonna try and do here. But he did play a very strange style of mech, did he?
Yeah,
think he was going
it's
for
not
timing
really
attack.
turtle mech. It's
Yeah.
his aggressive, crazy pushes mech, so
Yeah.
to say.
They're really good at catching opponents off guard, so we'll see if Solar accounts for it or not. Oftentimes the Zerg, we even cut Roach Warrens sometimes, you know? A lot of the time against mech, there's so many styles, but well, something happened there.
And
There are
it
so
ties
many.
up the series.
That ties up the series.
Nice.
Just joking. If you bet on the series, that does not tie it up. That actually doesn't tie it up, Diego. But I hope you're having fun on your phone, though. It seems like a lot of fun.
What?
Top kick, man. But yeah, we're waiting for a re-invite there.
Whoa.
But yeah, there are a few styles that you can do against mech, and one of the more popular ones these days would be to upgrade melee upgrade, get melee upgrades and start working towards Ultralisks really fast. And sometimes, you know, you assume it's mech mage, but the idea behind going for the Ultralisk rush, so to say, would be to kind of cut down on as many units as you can, so you can get there as early as possible and potentially hit timing attacks. So you still need a safety Roach Warren, and be able and ready to produce units at command, but that's easier said than done. You know, you can't really afford to miss injects and stuff like that. If MarineLorD can manage to disrupt Solar's attention and economy early on, maybe with Hellion run-bys, with some sort of harass, a timing attack, to where Solar isn't hitting those injects perfectly, that's where the style of MarineLorD, I think, excels. Where you do a follow-up push and the Zerg just won't have enough because they've had to, you know, replace drones or just slow down their larva injections or anything like that. So we'll see what happens here. But again, I think that the timing mech is a really good style if you are able to do something in the early game. So
yeah, very well said. Describes MarineLorD perfectly here. And all right, let's hop into introductions.
All right, let's hop into introductions. In the top left-hand side of the map, playing as the Red Terran, representing France as well as Millennium, it is MarineLorD.
And on the bottom left position, representing Samsung Galaxy up 1 game now, it is Solar.
We had a solar eclipse the other day.
No, it was a lunar eclipse.
Well, shit.
Nice try, though.
There goes the small talk. So, yeah, man, he's about to build a hatchery. It's gonna be a hatch first.
Amazing stuff.
Amazing stuff. On the other side of things, we don't have a gas for MarineLorD. That is actually information.
Yes.
So that's good.
It could still be a 15 gas, which is what he did on this map before.
Well, let's see.
And nope.
What so it's gonna be a rack CC by the looks of it. He did this yesterday. Unfortunately for him, it will get spotted right away by the Overlord. We'll see if Solar takes a gas, but I'd wager if he does, he might end up canceling it, or even that's actually CC on the high ground. He might end up canceling it, or even just not mining it, or mining it with one drone upon seeing this command center. So let's zoom in on the gas, Rob.
Which?
The Solar's gas. Let's zoom in on it.
Why?
To the left, to the left.
I can't go to the
Oh,
left.
can't go to the left. Well, is the gas gonna finish? The gas will finish. Well, that's awkward. But yeah, I guess he's gonna decide to mine the gas anyway. One of the things that he could do by mining the gas is go for example, for a roach attack. You were talking about it yesterday, Diego. Maybe
Yeah, this is a mistake by Solar.
oh, really nice by MarineLorD with the SCV. Very
Yeah.
very beautiful play. So what he did there was he put the SCV onto the high ground, onto that high ground, so that he had vision on that level, and then the Marines could kill the Overlord. So very well done by MarineLorD there, getting himself a free Overlord.
Yep. And we'll see if so MarineLorD is gonna throw down a third CC before getting his gases. It's gonna delay his Hellion so much, but he's gonna get that boost in economy.
You know, and Solar still went for the link speed as well. I'm a little bit surprised. Do you think this is one of those link flots that you were talking about, or?
It is very possible, actually, and especially because he went for 3 CCs.
Yeah.
It could spell disaster. Normally, when you go 3 CCs, you're not gonna have that much money to wall off your natural, and you really don't want those depots like at all, because your CCs are enough supply.
Indeed.
But yeah, it would be quite the move if Solar decided to go for that link flood.
Absolutely. And just for anyone wondering or thinking like, why are you reading so much into whether he took the speed or not? Because a lot of people, a lot of Zergs will take that speed, regardless of there being a CC or not. And look at this by MarineLorD, by the way, making an extra bunker behind the first one. So that would be actually not too bad at all. If there's a link flood, I think that'll be great for MarineLorD. But the speed is almost done and no links are in production. So the odd thing to me about Solar's opener isn't that he did it, it's that he changed it last game when he saw the Marines. Like, when he saw that it wasn't the Reaper opener, he decided to go for a very quick lair and delay the speed a lot. And this time around, he scouted earlier. He saw the CC earlier. He figured out, okay, there's no gas taken earlier. And he still decided to go with the speed. But as you can see, he has links with speed, but hasn't used it at all. And that is why, against gasless styles, I much prefer, you know, just delaying the speed a little bit. But again, some people make it, and that's why maybe the possibility of a link flood was there, but it's not gonna happen, and instead we're gonna have speed finish for a while and not really anything getting done with it.
Yeah. And MarineLorD with his go-to mech builds, he did this pretty much all his mech games yesterday, where you just get 2 quick factories, and he opened a fast tank in one of them, just playing very safe, very confident in his mech skills.
Indeed.
And he's gonna throw down an armory, get +1 upgrades for his vehicle.
Yep.
Weapons, and just MarineLorD's, like, he is very inflexible with his builds, I would say.
Okay.
Just besides his double proxy Rex yesterday,
Yeah.
he just seems like this very macro-oriented player, where he is very comfortable in his late game skills.
Right.
It reminds me a lot of Bunny, actually. Like, it seems a lot like Bunny-inspired play here.
Yeah, it could very well be. So we have actually Blue Flame and confirmed mech here for MarineLorD, but yeah, it is as you said. He's a player that's confident in his later game. He's got tons of APM. He's a very smart dude, but you know, I think Solar might be taking him a little bit lightly. The only reason I'm saying this is, I don't know, it seems like Solar is playing a little bit safer than he needs to, in order, because when you're playing a really good player, sometimes you need to take risks and respect those players and know that you can't just play, you know, completely standard without cutting any corners. And being able to or expecting to defeat players on similar skill level as you, because whoever's cutting corners should be getting ahead. So I'm again a little bit surprised that he took a speed as early as he did. The only reason I can think of he did is that he was trying to get just links available defensively in case there was something like a mass Hellion run by or something like that. I don't even know, like that wouldn't even hit early enough. But as it is, roaches are going to be the choice for Solar. There's already mute out, so pretty standard stuff against mech. He hasn't taken any damage from the Hellions from MarineLorD, and MarineLorD is probably looking to try and get some drones here. He will get a few and reveal the Blue Flame, and with that a lot of links, but was that worth it, Diego?
Not really. 3 drones, definitely not what you want for that many Hellions.
Yeah.
But
3 drones and a bunch of links as well, right? Let's actually look at the units lost tab for a second.
Sure.
So it's kind of even.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Hellions, what hurts here is the commitment to Blue Flame, I think. But with Hellions, generally speaking, if you lose your first batch of Hellions and you're going bio, you're in a lot of trouble. But here we're not making really a huge deal out of it, because MarineLorD is going mech, which means he's gonna be replenishing Hellions all the time. So he's looking to trade those Hellions anyway. Whereas if you're going bio, your first 6 to 8 Hellions are unlikely to get replaced. You probably want to be making other stuff out of those factories, like perhaps Widow Mines, or oh, this is a really good attack by Solar here, and it's gonna catch MarineLorD completely off position. Very well done, pulling every unit with the Muta, and then hitting the third with the roaches. Also sectioning off a group of roaches here. Is this just too much?
It is possible, yeah.
How?
Well, roaches, man.
Roaches are just that strong, I guess.
Roaches are that strong indeed.
Okay, it seems like MarineLorD didn't see this coming. There was only 1 tank in position. Only 1 bunker to speak of as well. He hasn't lost that many SCVs, so maybe if he can hold here, he can stabilize somehow. Oh, the Thor falls down before it can get repaired. That's big. And just 1 Thor remaining, a few Hellbats tanking damage, and a few Marines doing what they can. Another Thor pops up, and that might be enough for MarineLorD to push Solar back, but I think that a little bit too much damage perhaps has been done here. If we look at Solar's economy, he actually started cutting drones for this attack. His third is not even fully saturated yet, I don't think. So Now 12 drones in production. Solar is happy with the damage that he's done with his very committed attack. I wouldn't call it an all-in, but you know, kind of close to that. Like if that attack doesn't do damage, then you lose. However, you know, doing damage and killing your opponent are two very different things, and more than enough damage here was done by Solar. It's gonna be really tough for MarineLorD to stabilize, and more than that, I really hope that MarineLorD doesn't try to go for a timing attack from here, because yesterday that's one of the mistakes that I at least a mistake in my opinion that we saw him make, was he pushed out at 160 supply after the Zerg was ahead the entire game, and that lost him a game. Or was that was MarineLorD, right?
Yeah, that was in Dashing Terminal.
Yeah. So still, he ended up defeating True, and True is a great player himself. So him taking down Solar is not that big of a stretch from that. I wouldn't think.
No, but Solar already getting his Hydralisks, and he's getting his high. Vipers are gonna be out soon, and it's gonna be rough for MarineLorD to hold
the Viper push, right?
Yeah, the Roach Hydra Viper push. That is gonna be tricky.
Yeah. MarineLorD doing a good job of keeping a few units there to protect the tank, and still sending enough to defend against this little squad of roaches. Solar is just gonna go into the third instead, and he will find that tank, one uncovered tank, but at the cost of a lot of roaches actually, and that kind of even things up from my view. That was a tank and nothing else pretty much dying for a decent handful of roaches, so maybe not even things up, but I think that was a good trade for MarineLorD there. Now, will that be enough with the Vipers popping up? I don't think so.
No, and
like how does he needs to snipe those Vipers with Vikings or something, right?
yeah, if those blinding clouds go down, even if they only get like one tank at a time, it could be enough to just kill MarineLorD. He has 5 tanks right now, and
yeah,
you need way more than that.
His tank spread is beautiful though. They're pretty much as close as they can be together without being in range of more than one blinding cloud from each other. Like one blinding cloud can get those two actually, but other than that, I think for the most part they're pretty well spread out, like as good as you can do it. Let's see if it's gonna be enough here. Sensor tower going down. I like the turrets there actually. That's gonna create an artificial choke point that Solar is gonna have to go through, and it's really annoying clicking on those things, right? Because unit pathing, the way it works, obviously the units are gonna go and try to attack the unit that's attacking them that's closest, and or whichever unit they prioritize in their AI. But oh, here comes the big attack, and the Vipers. Oh, one Viper goes down with no blinding cloud. That's actually huge. This is a good tank spread, and it looks like MarineLorD will push this back, man. I think all those Vipers needed to throw at least one blinding cloud each to make it happen. Again, MarineLorD with a beautiful spread here. A little bit impressive here, a little bit surprising. But as I was saying about pathing, the units will go to whichever unit they prioritize and is closest to them. So when you make artificial choke points with turrets or supply depots or anything like that, then you're potentially forced to target fire them, for example, and miss on an entire attack, you know, from a bunch of units, or you have to grab the perfect amount of units to one-shot that building or something like that, because it's gonna make it really annoying for you to walk around it. You have to destroy it.
Yep. And Solar is just gonna give up on his Roach Hydra Viper timing and transition into Ultralisks. He's getting his 5th base now, and he has a mighty economy compared to MarineLorD. MarineLorD is still rocking that 3 base economy, but if he stays on this for long, he's just gonna mine out so fast. This creep spread is amazing, actually.
Yeah, the creep spread is out of this world, but so is that tank spread, to be honest. And you know that the one thing that MarineLorD has going for him right now is the upgrades are fantastic for him. Another Viper will go down, but not before throwing 2 blinding clouds this time, 2 of them. Actually, that might be 3 blinding clouds, but overlapping with each other. So this is still a fight that MarineLorD is gonna come out of, I think, a little bit ahead. If we look at resources tab at units lost, Solar has lost a considerable amount more than MarineLorD. The problem for MarineLorD, of course, is the economy. He really needs to establish that 4th. but he has been trading really, really well. That is a ton of tanks as well. I wouldn't mind, and actually Solar's committing to more Vikings. With this many tanks, Diego, I don't know if Vipers and Hydras and Roaches are gonna be the way to go for Solar here. Now there are Ultras on the way, but like I said before, choke points are really good, and MarineLorD has made quite a few of them. And Ultras are maybe the unit that suffers the most from buildings in front of units shielding them, like these turrets and command center. So very well done by MarineLorD. Very methodical play, and it looks like he's getting himself a real chance at this game, which was looking extremely grim for him just a few minutes ago.
Yep. And this is like to remind you that at some point MarineLorD was down 80 supply against about 140 for.
Oh, these
Solar.
Roaches are gonna get smacked.
Oh yeah. That was
Oof.
disappointing.
A little bit, but yeah, you can't be looking at everywhere. Obviously, Solar's doing multiple things at once.
Yeah.
So those Roaches go down.
Well,
and,
they were pretty much freeing supply up for the Ultra lists. He's going.
Yeah,
into
he pretty
that
much
Queen
had to
Ultra
get
list.
rid of them. So not the most cost-efficient trade there for him. On the bright side for MarineLorD, like I was saying, his 3-3 is going to be completed before Solar's. And not just that, but Solar only has one upgrade ready for the attack for the melee attack. While he has been upgrading the range attack again. Everything points out to me the way that this game is looking right now, to that Solar really wanted to end the game with those Vipers and Roaches and Hydras, and I think it was very realistic. Much like I was saying before, that the style where you go for timing attacks relies on you doing damage. This time around it was the other way around, right? It was the Zerg who did damage and then did the same, conceptually the same thing. Went for a timing attack, and there's so many larvae here that are gonna get roasted by those Hellions. Actually, quite a few survive. But yeah, just basically reverse what we were saying earlier about the timing attack mech. Only this time around the Terran held that timing attack and has managed to stabilize. So as I see things right now, what are those upgrades, Diego? What are those things that no one gets? Behemoth reactor, building armor.
This is a battle cruiser starting.
Yes.
Crazy stuff, man. I've never seen those images before.
Yeah, what MarineLorD is doing different this game, which I really like, is getting a bunch of Stark ports and tech labs on them. He's gonna tech to either Ravens or probably battle cruisers.
Yeah. I like it, man.
Yep, and he's gonna build up that ultimate composition. This is what I was talking about. Iron Fortress. You can easily turtle
On four base and slowly,
bases,
methodically, push forward. I mean, I would like to see him take the as a fifth, the base that's closest to MarineLorD. Maybe just do a little bit of a push towards that area. Is there a risk in that? Is there a reason not to do it, you think?
Well, he could try, yes, but it's quite risky. You could end up losing a lot of tanks, and it's just something you don't want to lose. But yeah, sure, of course, you could try to get your fifth base with some good.
Because I mean, you could
turrets.
you could put some tanks over at your own base to protect tanks going over at that base, and so on and so forth, right? Because tanks can. Oh, that's a lot of command centers. Yeah, MarineLorD is very happy with this game extending by the looks of it, or at least has managed to do what he needs to do to stay alive, and maybe that'll be enough, is what he's thinking. This is a lot of Vipers and a lot of Ultras, though. A lot of the MarineLorD army is not in position and is off siege and whatnot. But the Thors managed to get in the choke point, and again, those are not good places to go for Ultras. There's a PF in the front. I love, by the way, that MarineLorD adapted. He didn't make the same mistake that he did yesterday, where when he was super far behind, he pushed at like 160 supply. This time around, he said, I am pretty far behind. I'm not going to win this game within the next 15 to 20 minutes. So, let's have it.
Yeah, and he's just gonna stack those battle cruisers, and as time goes on, it gets better and better for MarineLorD. Solar is not like it doesn't seem like he has a plan against it. He's just making more Ultras. He basically just replenished all those Ultras that he gave away for free.
Yeah, I mean, as far as cost efficiency goes, MarineLorD has a big lead. He's almost 6,000 resources ahead in the units lost department, but that doesn't mean a lot unless the map mines out. Unless both players get, you know, split the map and mine the entire thing, then that's when cost efficiency matters. What Solar is trying to do is trying to break MarineLorD before it's too late. Potentially contest the 5th might be what he's looking for here. If he can stop MarineLorD from taking a 5th enough times, if he can limit that bank, then the map is Solar's to take. And if Solar can manage to take the map, it doesn't matter how many battle cruisers you have if you cannot replenish them. So Solar is just trying to trade effectively, and I think he will get pretty decent trades here. A few tanks are gonna go down. Not the best Viper usage again, and these Vikings don't have much of a job as there are no flying units other than overseers on Camp Solar. But as you can see, perhaps not a cost-efficient trade in terms of units lost for Solar, but overall a fantastic trade because MarineLorD has such a harder time replenishing his army, seeing as he's limited to now 3 bases.
Yeah, and Solar can just afford to trade so much here. He has the bank, he's just getting all the bases and the map. But one thing I would enjoy to see here is the mass Viper composition, where it's very good against no Ravens, where you just mass abduct the Vikings and battle cruisers or anything you can find, really.
Yeah.
And it's just so cost effective, and it drains the Terran's bank so fast.
Indeed. Now, one of the problems for MarineLorD taking this base actually was Solar's creep spread. It was so good that it didn't allow for any buildings, and even now there's no buildings that can be placed in certain places. Oh, that sucks for MarineLorD, by the way. Those mules are having to do a long trip. But yeah, there's still creep at the edge of his army. If we go upwards a little bit. Yeah, like there's creep right there. So you can see finally, as creep recedes, he's able to build those turrets and those buildings that are gonna allow for chokes. But not, MarineLorD says no, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to turtle up. Let's fight. And those Hydras are actually doing a great job. I never understood why Hydras against battle cruisers, but Koreans seem to like it and it seems to work. So it is what it is. It seems like actually the units are gonna end up getting cleaned up. Was that the trait that Solar was looking for? I'm not sure. Oh, there's a lot of corruptors in production, so I guess that was the trait that Solar was looking for. And
53 corruptors. Wow.
And
yeah.
Spire, a couple upgrades.
Yeah, so right now Solar is saying, okay, I'm gonna break your air. And once I break your air, I'll still have the bank to come back and break your ground. But I don't know, man, corruptors are not that great. Now, there aren't any Thors out on the map for MarineLorD, and that is a big problem. There are 3 battle cruisers and 3 Vikings being produced at a time. Once you start attacking with these corruptors, though, you're very committed to them. And MarineLorD is non-stop producing Vikings. Now, Ravens on the way, those could help with the PDD as well. Here come the corruptors, and now he's shown them. He has to commit them to kill the battle cruisers. Don't care how many turrets there are. These corruptors are very committed. I wouldn't mind seeing an SCV pool to try and repair, but these are so many corruptors. And again, Solar is just saying, you know what, I'm gonna destroy your air. Whatever happens after that is what happens after that. And after this, I think his plan is just gonna be to make a lot of those corruptors into broodlords. So gets rid of all the battle cruisers, but was that enough? Actually, a lot of Vikings surviving here, and now full Viking production as well as Ravens by MarineLorD. So this commitment by Solar, I'm not sure. He's gonna morph broodlords almost certainly, but I'm not sure if it's a mistake because his plan here was very clear, right, Diego? It was, I'm gonna clear your air and then I'm gonna go broodlords.
Yeah.
But and it was looking great for him, and he was even producing more corruptors. But then all of a sudden there was a lot of Vikings shooting in the back, a lot of corruptors fall, and suddenly he doesn't have that many units. I mean, he has 9 corruptors with 18 on the way. Okay, 18 on the way might change things. But there are 20 Vikings out for MarineLorD. So if MarineLorD can keep up the Viking production, which he's doing, he's producing 6 at a time. I don't know. I don't know who to give this to. It's 21 Vikings against 23 Corruptors. But let's not forget, Vikings outrange Corruptors. And there is a nice turret ring. So I'm not sure, Diego. What are you thinking?
I saw Solar make 1 and faster, I feel that with this composition, if he had 4 or 5 infestors, he could just fungal the Vikings and win this fight. But with just
Oh, and the Hunter Seeker missiles are gonna go down. They're gonna be big. Oh, and these Vikings are just gonna kite for days, man. This is horrible for Solar now.
So
There's
many
like you
Vikings,
said,
yeah.
imagine an infestor or two here that changes the tide completely. There aren't even tanks in range. If nothing else, the infestor should be there to protect his units as they retreat. There's not much to chase here for Solar, but he has to commit to a fight. Now the Vikings are gonna have a hard time chasing the Broodlords because of the Queens, but the Broodlords actually stop. Solar stops running, and they're gonna be falling for free, and this puts MarineLorD in a fantastic position. That was very committed attacks by Solar, really expensive armies, a full Ultralisk army followed by a huge Remax on Corruptors and Broodlords, and he's lost them both. Yes, his economy has been fantastic, but I am scared to look at the units lost tab. Yeah, if we look at the units lost tab, there's over a 15,000 resources difference for MarineLorD here. So if the map continues to get split and MarineLorD just continues to hold, I don't see Solar winning this game. However, Solar is close to maxed out, and MarineLorD is sitting at just 160 supply or 150 supply now. So this is still pretty scary. I'm not sure what's with the AI of those SCVs going to that base through the middle of the map. Maybe could have shift-clicked them through safer paths. But
that is one thing I hate about this map is for some reason when you go horizontally with your units, it goes through the middle instead of through the short path.
Yeah, it's really weird. It actually does that. When scouting too, it does some weird stuff where it goes through the middle for a second.
It's so annoying, man. I hate that.
Yeah, well, this command center is gonna get denied, and that's a pretty big win for Solar. Again, his win condition is not gonna be in taking cost-efficient fights. It will be in making his opponent waste his bank and continuing to send waves of units until he can punish him. And this you might wonder what is he doing with his Hellions? They're scraped there. They can see where they're going. They're probably not gonna do a lot, and they're probably not. But they're buying MarineLorD time. As you can see, MarineLorD's bank has only 300 gas there, and those are the units that matter the most. This scan also committing for drones. It's not really a big deal to anyone. I mean, a lot of drones are gonna fall down. Yes, you're gonna get one less mule, but who cares? All MarineLorD wants right now is gas, so that he can continue to make the army that he wants to make. So those Hellions were actually really nice. They bought him a lot of time, a lot of safety. They told him where Solar's army was that entire time, and that's really nice for him. That's what he needs to do.
Yep. I feel like both players are doing very well. Perhaps just Solar, you know, making not the absolute best decisions, but his composition is still looking very scary. I still feel that lack of infestor hurts so much, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, and look at this fungal. It would be the dream if he had a follow-up, but still, this will take down a lot of Vikings. However, there aren't
blinding clouds.
Very nice blinding clouds, but that tank spread is big, man. It extends all the way to the back, so it's not going to be super easy to break this cost efficiently. The Vikings finally landing upon seeing that there is no more air to be afraid of. And Solar will once again get pushed back. However, this time around, I think he traded a little better than he has been trading. And that, of course, means that MarineLorD is running out of bank. And this is what Solar's strategy revolves around here. On that regard, just because he has been taking cost-inefficient trades, it doesn't mean that that's not what he was planning to do from the start. The mistake I think that Diego was referring to before is the lack of infestors with his Broodlord attack, and I completely agree with that. There's no way that wouldn't have been better. So yeah, we see MarineLorD now really struggling. He really wants to secure that base. Will Solar allow for that? If this base is secured by MarineLorD, I am inclined to think that he will win the game. Oof. That could have been huge.
Yes.
But yeah, I think if MarineLorD manages to secure this base, he will be in a prime position to win this game. So let's see if Solar is going to have something to say about it. He's posturing with his army right now, and it seems like we're going to have a fight here any second. Here come the Ultras, and this could be the game-ending fight. There is a ton for Solar on the ground, and MarineLorD really just doesn't have much of anything left. A lot of his forces were all the way over to his in his main, and I think at this point he just had to make a decision to defend one area because he couldn't defend both production and this new base that he was taking. So I think he pretty much had to gamble and guess where the army of Solar was gonna hit, and he pretty much guessed wrong. I mean, at the same time, that's where Solar has been hitting. So I would have liked to see MarineLorD think and be like, okay, so if he attacks this base, I'm dead. I think he has been attacking this base mostly, so just reposition everything over to that side, right? Like forfeit one side, even if it means that if Solar attacks over there, he will kill MarineLord's production and probably end the game. I think it's more likely that Solar will poke on the other end of things, see that there's a defense, and back away, and not think to even try to go towards the main, right? So that could have been a risk that MarineLorD could have taken there. He decided not to, and it may have costed him the game, but he was definitely in a difficult spot at the very start and made a good game out of that, so props to him for that. With that, the score of the series is 2-0 for Solar, and we're heading into map number 3.
Map number 3, which is going to be Coda.
Coda. And
I think...
What is your favorite story about Coda?
I don't know. Coda is it's a very fun map for me because I just enjoyed the Reaper bunker rush, and it's just such a short distance.
Have you ever met anyone in Coda?
On Coda? No, not really. I have never met anyone on Coda, Cats.
You don't think so?
No, like maybe if you tell a story yourself.
Oh no, I don't think I have a story for Coda. I'm just saying, like, maybe you had met someone in Coda.
Well, I did play so many games on this map that it will be hard to remember one in particular.
This is true. In the top left-hand side of this beloved map by most people, we have the French Hope for today. The French Terran Hope, let's go with that.
Okay.
It is Millennium's MarineLorD. No spin for him.
And on the bottom right, up 2-0, it is Solar.
Spin for him.
Spin for the win.
Spin for the win. Spin to win. Nothing out of the ordinary going on. Legacy of the Void will get rid of this awkwardness. The awkward phase of the game.
Yeah. And it is gonna be a CC first.
Alright, alright. Why do we say that? It could be a Rax expand, right? We saw him do that before. It could have been.
No,
well, it's too late
because Rax goes on 12 supply.
I see.
And you build it with the SCV that was building the depot. So if you send it back, it means you're going for CC first, most probably.
Good stuff, good stuff. Good information right there, good intel, man.
The more you know, man.
The more you know. This SCV mines a mineral before he proceeds to make the CC. And there he goes. A drone will go down and make a hatchery for Solar. But that is a hatchery after a pool. If you're thinking, why is the hatchery going down after the CC? Well, Solar made a pool first. Will he make any links out of the spawning pool? He could. Will he, though? I doubt it. Let's see.
I don't think it will be advantageous for him.
There's one larva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There will
probably
be no links,
not. Probably not. Yeah. The situation in which you can choose to make links, for example, is if the Terran opens with a Reaper, which you would have seen, and they skip the SCV Scout, right? Sometimes Terran SCV Scouts and goes Reaper. Some Terrans like Diego make bunkers in your natural and then abuse that. But most Terrans will just SCV Scout Reaper or straight into Reaper. With your Overlord, you can usually see and tell if they are SCV Scouting. And if they are, you can just avoid making links, and if they're not, you can make some links and get them out before the Reaper arrives to try and get a delay on the command center. But not the case here, of course, as there were no Reapers in play. A late SCV Scout by MarineLorD.
You know what though? Speaking of SCV Scout, I think this is the first time MarineLorD has scouted in this tournament.
Really?
Yeah, he did not SCV Scout whatsoever versus Drew. and the past 2 games he did on SCV Scout as well.
Yeah, fair
And
enough.
I was going to mention in the game in Moonlight Madness is that I was surprised no one did some sort of roach push versus MarineLorD yet, just because he keeps going for that CC first and forsaking that scout, but I guess that invalidates my point now because he is playing safer. I guess it is his last life on the line.
It is his last life on the line. He is the French hope. 26% of the people bet on him.
26%?
26%.
Okay.
So
26% people are...
many people are gonna lose their money on MarineLorD, and he doesn't want that.
No.
He wants to win for you guys.
Yeah. You don't want to get those angry tweets.
Viva la France! You don't want to get those angry tweets, but if you did bet on MarineLorD and if he does end up losing, I wouldn't blame you if you send them some angry tweets.
Would you though?
I wouldn't blame them.
Oh.
Would you blame them?
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Gamble smartly.
Gamble smartly.
No, don't. Just-
Always win.
You would be surprised, man, how many tweets I see. Like people like, I bet on you and you lost.
Oh, really?
Mostly in
You've seen that?
CSGO where
That's kinda mean.
betting is such a
Right.
huge thing with skins and stuff.
Yeah.
And it happens so often that people just tweet like,
They're just
oh,
mean.
I
huh?
bet all my stuff on you and you lost everything and like
Why? Why
just
don't
very
people? Why don't
angry.
people say I bet all my stuff on you and you won everything? Like what about that?
Because people are only, you know, the average person. They only recognize the value of their things when they lose it.
This is true.
Isn't there a saying like that? Like, you
only know what you have
Until you lose
You
it,
don't know
yeah.
what you have until you lose
Yeah.
it. Yeah. In Spanish it is nunca sabes lo que tienes hasta que lo pierdes. What about in Portuguese?
Você não sabe o que você tem até você perder.
Você não sabe que
Você tem
você tem
até você perder.
até você perdê-la.
Yeah.
Porra, cara.
Whoa.
Whoa. So we have these Hellions here, most likely just to look at the creep and contain it. But no, they're gonna be QXE Hellions. Solar too smart, ready with the Lings. So a little bit trying to go for a little bit of a QXE maneuver here is MarineLorD and ends up failing. There is a Banshee follow up. Will it do anything, you think, Diego?
No, it will not. He will be shut down.
By the Mutalisks, you think?
Yes,
The
precisely.
Mutalisks
by
are
the
so
Mutalisks.
fast, and they're they're gonna be out so early. So the good thing for MarineLorD and about this Banshee is that it's gonna buy him time. I doubt that Solar will just ignore the Banshee. I think he'll kill it with a Muta, and that should buy MarineLorD enough time to place some turrets, and defend against the Muta. So that's what he was looking for, and I feel like Solar his third has been delayed a little bit, and I'm not sure if that's what he wanted. Plus, he's taking the forward third, which against mech, I don't mind it. But against MarineLorD's mech, it could be really troublesome. Because MarineLorD likes the timing attacks. And if he decides to go for a timing attack here, that could spell trouble for him. Now, this Muta are going to try to poke in. Are the turrets ready? Not yet! So, Solar identifying the Banshee and completely ignoring it. There will be a Thor popping up here in a second. That's going to help a lot. The Muta's diving for that Viking will not end up killing it. You'll instead loses at least one Mutalisk. So, yeah, not the best thing for Solar. They're really good timings there by MarineLorD. Was the Banshee able to do anything else? I don't think so. It actually died. But yeah, I mean, if we look at the supply, it's a pretty even game. And Solar's third was very delayed. So I think I'm liking MarineLorD's position here a little bit more.
Yeah, and
Oh.
this is looking like a very similar game to Iron Fortress, where you just go for those initial mutas, get map control, force turrets, Vikings, and then you just
Whoa.
swarm the Terran with roaches, and that's what he is doing right now. He is not droning, he is making roaches and more roaches.
Yeah, so he's probably gonna look to deny the Terran's third here. Do you think he would commit into to an attack onto the natural if he felt he had to? This Thor is gonna save that Viking.
Well, there are no tanks, so you could commit to some sort of push at the natural. It would be risky, but yes, you could, as long as there are no tanks shooting from behind.
Fair enough. Now MarineLorD has to smell something's wrong here because of the lack of Muta. Like he saw the first Muta, but not anymore after that. He's gonna catch a few stringing links here in the middle of the map, but doesn't connect that there may be links already on the way to his base. Are they gonna get in? Let's look at the links. So gets us around on the Thor. That's big. Is it gonna die? No.
He has to
The Thor
repair
survives,
your
and
Thor,
that's
though.
big. Yeah, he has to repair the hell out of it and position his army in somewhere where it's going to be able to defend the third. This time around, actually, he might just forfeit that third. The Muta trying to poke in the main, while the Roach army, the bigger threat, goes into the natural, but there is a wall of waiting. The Thor needs to get repaired right now. It will not. It will fall. Another Thor shooting his ass out. Does that make any sense?
No,
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Nice try, though.
Thank you.
But yeah, he did kill a bunch of SCVs. He got 2 Thors for his troubles.
Might get a third one, and
Yeah.
that could spell disaster here. But nope, he instead focuses on the rocks apparently. Okay, so MarineLorD is gonna be able to push this back. Cool style by Solar. You know what I like about the style that Solar is showing right now, Diego? It's the perfect counter to MarineLorD, right? Because MarineLorD is the one that wants to do the push. He wants to get to a certain amount of supply on 3 base and go for that attack.
Yeah.
And right now that his army has been reset, even though this time around Solar didn't manage to do as much damage as last game where he wiped a bunch of SCVs. Oh, there's 3 Hellions, Hellbats.
They're so tanky. Wow.
Oh wow, no one's free here. Okay.
Whoa, that
But,
hive's so fast already.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna see another Viper timing, right? Like, it seems like a cool approach against mech from Solar here, and very difficult to deal with. It's similar to the approach that you would have against a Protoss player in the elder times where Colossus were the units of choice pretty much every game heading into the mid game. You could go for those Viper timings and then maybe into Broodlords. We've seen something very similar from Solar in the previous game, except he liked or preferred going into Ultras. But this time around, like I said, MarineLorD in a much better spot than he was. Those mules, unfortunately, not mining 2 of them. But yeah, in a much better spot than last game, right?
Yeah.
The issue perhaps is the 5th base on this game is going to be a lot harder to take for MarineLorD.
Yep. And you could safely say, you were mentioning the composition, and I guess you could say that this is the go-to composition for, you know, the anti-mech, which is basically you go Mutas, you go Roach, Hydra, Viper, and then into Ultras, Queens.
That is that the standard? You would
Yeah,
say?
like the go-to anti-mech transitions, composition
Yeah.
thing.
So the main difference, I guess, with Solar compared to other players, perhaps, is that he goes into that composition a little bit faster, right? He goes for that timing attack with the Roaches, and it's very, very, very committed. I feel like MarineLorD wasn't even overextending with his third or anything, and still he took a little bit of damage from it. So what's the answer? Should the Terran be making a little bit earlier tanks if that's what they think is going to happen?
Oh yeah, you basically just tanks and good infrastructure is when you're playing mech, like infrastructure is the name of the game here. You just want to have walls and you want to have turrets. The turrets not only they choke out the units, but they also zone out the
you're talking
Vipers.
like a SimCity type thing. Like
Yes,
what
yeah.
we see here.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
Like that, like it's
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. Sure.
It's very well done by MarineLorD here. So yeah, he needed to have that earlier potentially, or maybe just a tank or 2 if he was expecting the Roaches. Like, and what's the tell? If you are asking, it will be the lack of Muta reinforcements, right? Because there's 7 to 8 Muta made at the start, and then if you don't see any Muta added to the ball, then you should start wondering, is there a Roach follow-up, or what the follow-up is going to be? Because, you know, if they're not adding more Muta, maybe they're hiding them, but, you know, that's information in itself, just seeing the Muta numbers not grow. These Hellbats really just doing their thing. They were ordered to attack that hatchery, and they will attack that hatchery, no matter what.
Until they die.
Until they die. That's kind of messed up, isn't it? StarCraft 2 is a little bit messed up like that.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Like,
they don't
what
have their
example-
mind of
like-
their own. And
Yeah, what example does that set to kids across the world, right? Like,
Don't join the army.
don't join the army because you have to do whatever they tell you, and you know, or does it say join the army and do not disobey? Because if you know,
If anything, it's not that, because you're gonna die.
oh my god, and this is gonna be big. The Vikings not killing any Vipers yet, and that's big. One Viper goes down with half energy. Will this be enough? It looks like it is for now. Well done by MarineLorD, who now retains a supply advantage and secures a fourth. He really wants those gases right away, and that's what he's going to be going for. More Helium Rambais, doing a good job here by him. Wait until his army is moving out and then going for it. So, very well done. Ultralisk Cavern already on the way. So what, your argument is that it doesn't say join the army and follow orders?
Yeah.
Okay. It says be the general, be the commander. It's
Yeah.
all about anarchy.
Yeah. And I guess play Protoss pretty much.
Pretty much. So yeah. Do you think that some people like play StarCraft and then they think they should be like a war general?
Probably not.
Like Ender's game. Like he pretty much just played StarCraft and then you know.
They felt like doing it. I guess more people feel like that after watching Ender's Game than they did after playing
I mean like Ender's game, like you know the guy like Ender in the movie. He just like played StarCraft, right? Pretty much like his job was like play video games, and then he was really good at it, but he didn't know. Am I spoiling?
Yes.
I'm spoiling.
Yeah, but I mean, it's an old movie by now. Like
It's an old movie right now. It's a book. More importantly, I mean.
some guy in the chat is gonna be like, "Fucking
Oh my
spoilers,
god! I
man."
was gonna read Ender's
Ah,
Game
fucking
tomorrow.
cats, man.
Ender's Game. But yeah, worry not, man. You're Gucci. Good movie, by the way, and we're gonna have MarineLorD here, starting to add command centers. Solar has those Ultralisks, but it's a nice SimCity, Diego, for MarineLorD. These Vipers, you might be thinking, what is he doing? Why is he sending them into turrets? Well, he's not. That was a mistake. But
Koreans are human too, man.
Koreans are human too. This is true. This is actually a fact. Those Vipers might be looking for an angle to come in and blinding cloud as well. At least later on, we'll see. This Hydra is being sacrificed. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like that's messed up. You know, like I understand Banelings like know what their job is when they're born, right? And Zerglings to some extent, but Hydralisks, they didn't sign up for this. Oh, nice Viper snipe. Nice Viper snipe. This Viper did not sign up for that either.
Solar's army looks
Big
so
drops,
small,
big
but now I
drops.
notice
We're gonna
why.
see some Ultralist drop her ass up in here. And that Overseer, does it tell MarineLorD anything? I'm not sure. This Overlord drop is gonna be really annoying. It's gonna be sieging the production of MarineLorD, and Solar is most likely gonna be looking or hoping to really cool microwave with the Overlord, but it doesn't end up working out. So
he can snipe the upgrade on the fusion core. But
oh, that would have been huge.
yeah.
But yeah, Solar is basically just hoping that MarineLorD overreacts to this and perhaps hit the front if too many units are pulled off position. So
Which is
let's see how that
exactly what
works
it
for him.
does.
Yeah, but there is enough in the front. MarineLorD didn't overcommit to defending the main, and what this means is that was a big commitment by Solar that just kind of goes to waste. MarineLorD is in a position right now where he has 4 base, and he's pretty comfortable with where he is, but the problem again about this map is it's gonna be securing a 5th for him, right?
Yeah.
What does he do? What does he do from here, Diego? What's his 5th, and how does he take it? How does he go about it?
He can afford to not have a 5th for a much longer time, because
He's been trading much more cost efficiently.
yeah,
He
and
didn't take
not
that
only
damage.
that, like he can actually choke out the resources of the Zerg, because unlike Iron Fortress, the Zerg can only take so many maps here.
Yeah,
so
this
many
is true.
bases. I mean, in Iron Fortress, you basically have unlimited resources unless, you know, you are doing something wrong with your units. But here, as you can see, Solar on his side of the map, all he could take is up to 6 bases, and not, you know, 9 or 10 bases.
Absolutely, that is an excellent point, Diego. And we see Solar trying to take the base that MarineLorD is most likely going to contest. This base might just be the point of contention here, because if MarineLorD manages to push in far enough to take down that base, then that will be the base that he will be taking. And if he can secure that base, I can't imagine this game will be going to Solar. But we kind of said that last game, and Solar's posturing and going in for a big attack here. There is a tank line back there. And
that is a lot of overseers.
That is a lot of overseers indeed, but yeah, what's the point of that? I guess to absorb some shots from the Vikings, mess with the AI.
True, yeah.
And make it so that, you know, the Vipers aren't overly exposed.
Those Hellions are doing work this game.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
And
50 drones.
yeah, minerals oftentimes for the Zerg player is going to be a little bit more important than for the Terran player. Most of the Terran unit compositions gotta revolve around gas, but Zerg in its current state, or I should say Solar in his current state, he's been showing that he wants to go for units that do require a bunch of minerals. So this slows him down quite a bit. Like Ultralisks require a bunch of minerals. Hydra's mineral ratio is pretty high at 50-100. I'm sorry, at 100 and 100 minerals and 50 gas. Corruptors cost a lot of minerals. Queens cost minerals. So, you know, if Solar was committing to a mass Viper style or Infestor style, or a more heavy on Infestor style, he may not care as much about this Hellion Rambice, but as it stands, he probably does. Now, there are other approaches to dealing with mech. For example, we saw Snoot. What he was doing yesterday was he wouldn't have a huge bank or even drones. Right now we see Solar is at 87, so he wants to trade over and over and over again. Instead, Snoot had a really low drone count, and that allowed his army to be huge. But let's look at this engagement. I think Solar is going to get pushed back one more time as he sees this line of tanks back here. And yeah, he will retreat, but not before taking down one CC. As I was saying, though, what Snoot was doing yesterday, for example, was forfeiting that economy and instead having a huge army that could go in and trade, because it would be as big or bigger than the Terrans, because he got there faster, you know, because he never fought at a stage where the Terran was sacrificing SCVs for supply. So he basically said, okay, I'm gonna get ahead enough in economy that I can make a huge army, and then I'm gonna get rid of some drones, or just not replenish those drones to ensure my army is gonna be bigger, and therefore trade more cost efficiently with yours. So there are multiple approaches that you can take. In this particular case, though, for Solar, and because of the number of drones that he has and the number of bases that he's taking and his somewhat mobile army, he's pretty committed to trading. So we saw him there trying to get a good trade-off, wasn't able to. I wouldn't doubt it. We'll see something like that just shortly here again, and we see MarineLorD is already pushing to the right-hand side of the map to try and secure those additional bases. And if he's able to do that, I don't see him losing. Beautiful turret placement, Diego. Look at those turrets. Can we zoom in on a turret, Rob?
So many turrets as well.
Rob from production zooming in on that turret. There are actually human beings in each one of them. What I don't understand is how does the human being get there? Because, like, do SCVs just carry human beings with them?
I guess they have, like, people and
like, but one person fits inside the SCV, right? And the SCV keeps moving after building the turret, so it's not like that person jumped into the missile turret. So who is in that missile turret? And how did they get there?
That's the philosophical question, man.
Questions of life, man. But this time around, this is looking fantastic for MarineLorD. He uses all the Yamato guns that he can. Sure, he will... No, I was going to say maybe end up losing that planetary fortress, but no. That was just a straight up beautiful trade for MarineLorD. Sure, Solar has all the money in the world, though. So we'll see what the Remax is. We might see a ton of Corruptors yet again, or we might see something else. And MarineLorD's going to have to be scanning and keep an eye on that. So we'll keep an eye on that ourselves to see if MarineLorD is going to be aware of what the Remax is going to be. And indeed, it will be Corruptors right away. Even just MarineLorD just smells it and starts 5 Vikings production at a time. So we'll see if that is what he needs. More Ultras are moving down here, but those turrets are doing a fantastic job of just sectioning them out, of forcing them to attack awkward things. a little bit of a link drop, and that's just mostly going to be annoying. There are no Hellions in play, are there?
Nope.
No Hellions in play, and that's what those links are gonna punish here, so to say. This base finally gets taken down, and yeah, I mean, oh, actually 2 of the 3 orbiters already falling down, and a 3rd one might fall down to the Vikings. With this 4 Vikings, those links should get cleaned up fairly easily, extremely easily actually. So very well done by MarineLorD. His turret placement just defended that by themselves. He didn't really need to do much. But a cute idea by Solar to send links in, identifying that there's no Hellions out, was actually quite brilliant, I would say.
Yeah, at this point in the game, you don't want Hellions in your composition. You know,
Yeah.
You're maxed out, and Hellions, they don't help you at all.
Yeah. That is a lot of Corruptors, though. Let's not forget, MarineLorD has been great at making those turret rings. So at this point, we might see the Vipers potentially used just to Blinding Cloud turrets to mitigate damage for those Corruptors. These tanks are moving a little bit forward here. This could be dangerous. And very good patience by Solar, by the way. I was gonna say, oh, is he just throwing these tanks away now, Diego? I guess he is.
I mean, he shouldn't. That is quite expensive.
That is quite expensive indeed. However, there's not much to contest them on the ground. They will actually take down 4 infestors for free and potentially back away. Oh my god! The play of the century!
Feels like we're watching Bio, but with tanks here, man.
Oh my god.
Multi-pronged attacks.
Jesus
and everything.
Christ, this was like watching... This was amazing, man. But those tanks are gonna be cornered, it looks like. The Broodlord army is now chasing the little tank contingency here, and those SCVs are here to die. They have had enough of this life. They have been ordered to kill themselves because there's not... That's fucked up. They were ordered to kill themselves because there's not enough food for the people in their, you know. Do you realize that, Diego?
Yeah.
Like,
It is.
they basically said there's not enough food / houses, like housing right now. So you guys are gonna have to go ahead and kill yourselves. That's what the commander just told them. That is messed up.
We've got no room for you here, man.
We've got no room
just
for
go
you.
Die.
Good job, though. Good job. Great job, though. You know.
Thank you for your services.
Thank you very much for your services, but that's gonna be it for you, mate.
I imagine the guys are like, "Oh, so we can go home now?" And they're like, "No, man.
No, man. No, we can't afford to send you home right now. Like, we have no medevacs, man. We're mech. So, yeah, unfortunate for that group of SCVs, but MarineLorD finally in a fantastic position this game. He managed to clear the extra economy from Solar. He has been containing him to a limited amount of bases. He's only 1 base behind, and his economy, I have to imagine, is just as good or close to a Solar with those mules. He has 31 harvesters, but how many command centers? Does he actually have, did he add command centers yet, Diego?
No, this game actually, he did not make a lot of... Well, he does have 8 carbureals. Never mind.
Yeah, it is pretty decent.
Yeah,
pretty
it's more
decent.
than enough.
He just scanned a ton of Corruptors, and what does he do instantly? Instantly starts 4 Ravens. So very well done by MarineLorD here. Ravens are going to be fantastic. You don't have to use them for a Hunter Seeker missile. You can use the PDD. Actually, in the Terran side of things, I usually prefer to see not too many Hunter Seeker missiles and a few more PDDs. Hunter Seeker missiles can be really, really dangerous, but we'll see what happens here. There is a ton of Corruptors, both players really low on workers, which means this army supplies are pretty much as big as they get. This time around, Solar does have Fungal, and he will use it very effectively. Oh, and this is what I was talking about. The Hunter Seeker missiles are going down, but also on the army of the Terran player. However, the Terran player still seems to have enough. No Yamato guns yet being used. Those could be 5 or 6 less Corruptors just by using that ability, and he finally does. Now MarineLorD is going to be able to take down this army with that potentially secure a base. Solar's bank looks big, but it's really not. It's the gas that matters, and he only has 400 of it. So MarineLorD in a fantastic position now. A little bit. I feel like if we were machines, then what Solar would have done, ideally, would have been to pull a few of the Corruptors that were getting Hunter Seeker missile and run them into the Terran army, rather than his whole army absorbing that damage. If that had been the case, then I think Solar would have traded as cost efficiently as he was expecting to. But since it wasn't the case, just, you know,
Since he's not a machine.
since he's not a machine. Now, MarineLorD wasn't a machine either. I mean, he didn't Yamato gun until the end of the fight. That's actually pretty big. He prioritized other things. So you can more or less see if you're new to StarCraft and you're just a degenerate gambler and are watching this tournament because you put some money on esportgaming.com/root. If you did that, yeah, StarCraft has a lot of layers and is a very complex game. Now, this is a last hurrah for Solar. If it doesn't work, not to say that it couldn't, it might, but if it doesn't, then he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. This PF might end up falling, and these battle cruisers are actually starting to fall as well, man. No repair whatsoever. With this low bank, I'm really surprised those two battle cruisers that are extremely low are getting pulled back. And oh, Craigasm, man.
Craigasm. Is this the comeback hope?
Is this the comeback? I mean, it's 2-1.
It is 2-1.
No matter what, 2-1 is the closest a series can be 3 games in.
Mind blown, dude.
Mind blown.
I don't even know what to say after that.
Yeah. Just imagine someone won the first game, then someone else won the second game, then someone else won the first game. What's gonna happen next?
It's gonna be 2-1, man.
I think it's gonna be 2-2
Whoa.
after this game. I believe in MarineLorD.
Terraform.
Game, and it's gonna be Terraform.
You know what happens in Terraform?
What happens in Terraform?
Mech happens in Terraform.
Whoa. Why is that?
Because chokes.
They're powerful.
They are.
Also, there are a lot of attack paths which are particularly good for mobile units.
Yeah.
And
true.
that is
So
Hellions.
yeah. So,
Also, Mutilating Bane is really good when there are multiple counterattack paths,
just not against mech.
just not against mech. So Terraform, a pretty mechy map.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if Solar went for the same kind of build where you just go for a few Mutalisks and try to overwhelm the Terran with roaches.
Yeah.
It proved like it gave him an edge, would you say, in Coda, I feel.
For sure.
Not but not nearly enough as not nearly as much as in Iron Fortress.
Iron Fortress was,
that was insane. But we have to keep in mind that in Iron Fortress, even though he had 1k in his bank by the time the Spire finished.
I wanted to make a joke.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so like, you have to help me perfect the joke though, because it's not ready yet. But what, like, I know iron deficiency causes something, but I'm not sure what it is.
Iron deficiency causes... I feel like this is something Rob would know.
Rob, do you know what iron deficiency causes?
What it causes or what it's called?
What
No.
it causes. Or what it's called, sure.
It's called anemia.
Anemia.
Like if you're anemic,
Yes,
you have
anemia.
iron.
Exactly.
Okay, so is there a joke to be made with Iron Fortress and iron deficiency?
Not as far as I'm concerned.
Probably not a good one.
I'll come up with it, yeah. I'll work on it. Well, now we're on Terraform though, so forget about that, Diego.
Okay. Yeah, I'll forgive him. Sorry.
Please, just don't insist.
Introductions?
Introductions! On the top left-hand side of the screen, playing as the Red Terran and making barracks, it is Millennium's MarineLorD. For the last time today, just kidding.
Whoa.
Whoa! And in the bottom right-hand side, for Samsung Galaxy,
Khan.
no can. I baited you. It is Solar.
You did not pay.
I baited you.
There is Khan.
Is there can? No, I think it's just Samsung Galaxy. Actually, I think Google, Rob might be looking it up.
No, I'm not.
Oh no, he's not. But is it still can?
I don't know, man. Maybe someone in the chat
It's
knows.
not. It's not.
Oh, rip.
It's not. Yeah, rip. So like what I did was I said
You
Samsung.
did not bait me.
I said Samsung Galaxy, and then I looked at you with my mouth open, and I signaled for you to complete the sentence, and you said can. How is that not a bait?
Because you don't even know if there is Khan or not.
I thought there wasn't. I even corrected myself last game, man. You just got baited. It's fine. It's
Great
not a
bait,
problem,
mate.
Leo. Thank you, man. Great bait, mate. 8 out of 8. But yeah, this Marine is looking for an Overlord. He's not gonna find it. Perhaps even looking for a drone that might scout him later or something. I don't know. I don't think Zergs do that. I don't. And these are very well positioned overlords by Solar, especially identifying that his opponent might be going Marine first yet again. We haven't seen MarineLorD opening Reaper very often at all. So these overlords are fantastic. They're still going to tell them, well, roaches. And this is what you were talking about, Diego.
Yeah.
This is going to be like a like that roach push, right? It's going to be like 10 roaches or so, just a very committed early attack to try and break and punish the early economy of MarineLorD.
And guess what? No SCV scout.
Yeah.
This is looking mighty dangerous for MarineLorD, man.
At the same time, though, Diego. Oh, this links. Oh, okay.
Oh, 4 Marines.
Yeah, at the same time, I was going to say the barracks was produced before the command center.
Yeah.
So, is that better in this case?
Oh, of course. The strength of this of the roach push is having only 2 Marines in the bunker.
Yeah.
You could still deal some damage, but it's definitely not gonna be worth. Especially if you only go for 6 roaches.
So this is good for MarineLorD already, right?
Yes, this is really
however,
good for
he has 2 Marines completely off position right now in the main base. So that could really help for Solar.
But the Hellions are gonna see the roaches at mid-map.
And the Marines should reposition then.
Yeah.
This Overlord, however, kind of telling the Marines I want to scout you and perhaps keeping them in the wrong location. Maybe that's what Solar intends anyway. These Hellions, however, will be running into the roaches like you said. Are these Hellions... Would these Hellions be earlier than if he had gone for CC first? Or does this always get spotted? It's just that you don't have enough Marines.
They will always get spotted, yeah. But
Okay.
the Hellions will always see the roaches mid-map, no matter what.
Okay.
But he just has so much more stuff.
Needs a ton of SCVs here. The SCVs need to be pulled now, and he does. 5 SCVs is as much as surface area. I guess you can fit it 6. So I'm not sure why he pulled 5 only, but that actually ends up working just fine for him.
He has 6 Marines, rather.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, or never mind. We're fine. But yeah, it seems like it's gonna be a clean defense by MarineLorD here. How many SCVs were lost?
It was 8 SCVs.
That's perfectly fine.
Yep, perfectly fine. However, no 3rd CC.
No 3rd CC. We might see aggression from MarineLorD here. I would love that. 2-base aggression. He hasn't shown that to Solar yet.
Yeah. And one thing we didn't talk about is that he's going for double factory, double reactor.
Wow.
This is some Wings of Liberty shit right here.
Or
man.
is it? There's an armory going down as well. I think he's gonna overwhelm potentially
with
Hellbats.
Hellbats against roaches.
Why not? Hellbats actually trade cost efficiently against roaches if they don't get kited.
Yes, if they go and get kited.
Yeah, I mean
That's a big
we'll
if,
see.
man.
We will see kiting, but is it gonna be enough? Like, are the Hellions gonna be able? You know what you can also do that almost no one does is have some Hellions and some Hellbats. Did he see it was a factory? That's important.
Did he? He
Didn't
not
see.
see.
It. He didn't see it was a factory. So that, I mean, I would think that's a starport.
Yeah,
most likely barracks though, or maybe I don't know. I don't know which one's more likely, but
So
not a
many
second factory
Hellions
with a
here.
reactor. Right?
Oh, breaking those rocks would be huge. And he will. Oh, he didn't finish the rocks. He could have cut the Hellions in half.
Yeah. And the Hellions were very eager to get through those rocks, but for what? Now, on the bright side for MarineLorD, or is it the bright side? I'm not even sure who's on the bright side here, because both players have been committed to so many units. It seems they both want to be aggressive, and they're both not expanding very quickly. Like, just now goes, like, the command center and the hatchery, or the thirds are not complete yet, and it's 10 minutes in. So both players committed a lot to army early on, and neither, like, both of them are a little bit shy to do anything with them because they see the other player's army, and they're like, oh, I guess you got a lot of army as well. It's a little bit awkward, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but if for some reason Solar decides to push across the map,
Those Hellions are gonna go in and roast everything.
yeah, but still, if
Oh, ooh la la.
yeah, he is gonna commit to it. He's morphing the Baneleys. There is 1 tank and 1 bunker building behind. Definitely not enough. And
On the other side, though, oh, these Hellions are coming back. Are they gonna be enough?
The lanes are taking care of it.
Yeah, lots of Hellbats now though.
MarineLorD knows what's coming, but is knowing half the battle.
Knowing is exactly half the battle. Let's look at the other half of the battle now as it unfolds. Lots of Hellbats. The Lings are not going to be able to do much really, and I love this. Look, some Hellbats, some Hellions.
That one Baneley is gonna be a
Oh
hero.
god, no,
Oh,
he's not.
that's okay.
And it looks like everything gets pushed back. Very well done by MarineLorD.
Yeah. Turns out Hellbats are amazing, man.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. Some Hellions and some Hellbats. Almost no one does it, but I like it a lot, right?
Yeah.
It helps a lot against kiting from those roaches. One more Hellbat will be getting sniped here, and now they retreat back to the tank where they will live happily ever after, most likely. Probably not for long though.
Nope. And only now the lair is coming down. Solar decided to drone again. This is a very, very scrappy game so far.
Yeah, I would call it scrappy, Diego. I think that's a decent description of current events.
Yep. But I still think it's pretty even. The Solar has a lot of drones, but MarineLorD is already landing that third. Oh, that Hellion run by though.
Yeah, this is big. I was gonna say I think MarineLorD has a little bit of an edge, and now a little bit bigger of an edge. That was a lot of drones,
That is painful indeed.
and he's gonna get some more in the main potentially. No. Oh no,
That
what?
was a lot of drones.
that was a lot of drones indeed. How many, Diego?
That was 13 drones.
13 drones killed total this game, and 25 on
That is
his
gonna
side of
even
things.
up,
So.
man. 44 to 44.
Yep. You have an even Zerg and Terran, but the Terran is meching. That's not a good position for Zerg. MarineLorD really holding his weight here against the DreamHack champion. I guess holding MarineLorD's weight is not really a difficult thing to do, but he definitely is pulling his weight. That's the expression. Is that the expression?
Pulling his weight?
Pulling his weight. Pulling his weight is a thing, right, Rob?
Yeah.
Yep. Confirmed. An infestation pit by Solar, and at this point, MarineLorD probably expects it. I mean, it's been the transition every time. We already see a transition into Vikings for MarineLorD. You know, this is one of the things that I hate the most about Mech, Diego.
What?
Is that Terran players just go Vikings. Doesn't matter if there's mute out. Doesn't matter like what it is. It's just like, okay, I have enough on the ground. I guess I'll start making air stuff just to be safe against everything.
Oh, except if you have RGG. He just really likes mech with benches.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good to be safe against muta transitions. They're just...
It's just a safety measure that says I have enough on the ground, right?
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
Mech doesn't like getting surprised, that's for sure. It's a very difficult army to build, but you know, if you pretty much have, if you have some sort of, it's one of those armies that if you have a formula, it kind of works, right? Like you have to make adjustments, but for the most part, like I don't like it when the blind decision to make Vikings, even though it doesn't really make sense on paper, it's usually pretty good.
Oh, this is painful, man.
This is painful indeed. Let's look at the workers.
Another
25
12
total killed this. So yeah, that was another 12. That was actually
Yeah,
huge.
Evening up once again the work account.
Actually crazy, man. Now this gold base is gonna be really important for Solar here. MarineLorD still doing a fantastic job of harassing non-stop with those Hellions. Very well done. Solar moving a little bit of an army through the middle of the map, but it's just gonna have to pussy out as soon as that roach. Yeah,
That one roach, man.
lots of orders being given to Sudoku here.
Sudoku.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
then-
is really powerful, man. That wasn't that many drones, but
no, but losing
4
the
or 5
time
mining
already.
time, yeah. It's painful. And Solar is going for that timing attack into a drop once again, and at this point his style is becoming a little bit predictable. I gotta say, like if I'm MarineLorD and I see this game, maybe this game you're still not completely sure of what's coming, but next game I would be very confident in the steps that MarineLorD's gonna take. I mean, aside from the opener, obviously, but it seems that his go-to is you know, usually going to Muta, into Roaches, into the Vipers, and if you become predictable like that, then Mech is gonna have an easier time adapting to it, right?
Yeah.
because again, with mech, a lot of the time you have to make your army preemptively, but that is not to say that you can't account for certain unit compositions. For example, tanks are stronger against roaches, Thors are very good against ultralisks, Vikings are pretty good against Muta, especially when accompanied by Thors, as well as good against Vipers. So you can more or less get those units and the right steps and more of one or the other, depending on what your opponent has or what you think he is gonna make. So yeah, we see here MarineLorD still trying to find some more space. He is almost maxed, and you know what? I think MarineLorD will go for a push here, Diego. I mean, like I said, he's almost maxed. We've seen him go for that timing attack mech yesterday a lot against True. Haven't really seen it today. Have been seeing more turtley style out of him today, but that is adapting to what Solar has been doing, right? Solar has been the aggressor throughout the series, so MarineLorD hasn't felt pressure to move out. However, on this particular map, I think he didn't take a lot of damage from the aggression. He put on a lot of aggression and did a lot of damage with his Hellions. I really wouldn't mind it if this time around he was the one to move out. But first, he has to hold this Viper push. Here they come. Two Thors get abducted. A Viper dies for it, and the second will fall as well. But is there enough in position for MarineLorD with this tank sieged? I think so. I think this is enough, though. The fourth will be forfeit. Most likely, it's gonna be so close.
Oh no!
Oh no, that's huge. That's gigantic, man. That fourth being saved means so much for MarineLorD. Now the supply is even. MarineLorD with a better bank, and the fourth being a Terran player and having mules. This is just looking fantastic for him. And here's where I wouldn't mind it if he went for that timing attack. Here's where I think he just picks up all his units and he should just say fuck it, for lack of a better word, and just go for it. I think if he did that, if he identified it, if he identified that he has a window, an opening here to end the game, he could take it.
I would think otherwise. We have seen time and time again that where mech players, they are ahead, but they just push and they end up dying to Roach Hydra Viper, and that's exactly how you crush an engagement. You just get a very big concave, and your
the Vipers come from the side, and
exactly. So I think in MarineLorD's position, you just, you know, your fourth was just secured. You just had an amazing trade, you know, just max out, just survive, and you're in an amazing position. You know, don't risk it.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that's what he goes for. And big attack is actually happening over there.
Oh, blinding clouds on his own units.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Oh, he blinding clouded a turret and then he walked over.
Oh, really? That's a shame. But yeah, a lot of units being lost here by Solar yet again. And yeah, the reason I was bringing this up, Diego, mostly it's not because I necessarily think that that's the better way to play. It's because it's what MarineLorD was comfortable with yesterday, and this game is the first time I see him having an opening to potentially try and close it early. And I think that's what we're seeing from him, and I personally like it.
Yeah, and I mean, MarineLorD is in a prime position to tie up the series, man.
It certainly looks like it. But what you were just mentioning could happen here. He could come in from really awkward angles. Now, let's not forget the Vipers were just in engagement, so wherever they are right now is probably gathering energy. They can't really engage or save this base. But once they have enough energy and Solar has his whole production or his whole armies together, he's definitely gonna have a go at it, potentially before MarineLorD can retreat. Here comes the engagement. The Vipers have gathered energy. There's about four or 8 potential spells, but the really good target firing, those were the Vipers with the most energy, and nothing is gonna come out of them. One blinding cloud on a tank that was dying already anyway, and it looks like MarineLorD is gonna tie up the series 2-2 against the DreamHack champion.
And you called it. I mean, it could potentially be a comeback 3-2 for MarineLorD.
Yeah,
that would be amazing, actually.
It would be.
Yeah.
So, who are you rooting for here?
I'm rooting for MarineLorD.
I gotta tell you, Solar's my boy. I like Solar.
Yeah.
But I want a foreigner to do well.
Not only that, but I don't want a ZVZ finals.
Yes,
there,
that's a good point.
said it.
I said it. I said it.
No one likes ZVZ finals.
I like CVC, actually.
Do you though?
Maybe not in the finals.
I mean, whenever
I
you go
really
into
do like
ZVZ finals, all you see in the chat is like Resident Sleeper.
Resident Sleeper, really? Well, let's hope for the sake of our finals that there aren't many Resident Sleepers. If we have a CBC finals, it would be Solar against the winner of Snoot and Hydra, though.
Yeah, that would be.
Like, that would be quite the finals. However, we could have a TBC finals, and more than that, there is a possibility that we have an all-foreigner final. If they go full foreigner here, MarineLorD has to go full foreigner against the latest DreamHack champion. How amazing is that? MarineLorD, of all people.
Oh, MarineLorD has, you know, I never doubted him.
You never doubted him?
No, I never.
Never?
MarineLorD, man.
I don't know, man.
He's come a long way, and
He's pretty
he
shady.
Showed, he showed in WCS how solid he is, man.
Has he?
Yeah, Alexis is the man, dude.
All right, fair enough. So we'll see. MarineLorD still hanging on to that idea that maybe he could be the best player in France.
The best player in
The
France?
the best player in France means a lot, guys.
Yes.
Like the best player in
Yes.
France.
The
is-
best players always came from France.
A lot of the best players came from France. Yeah,
Yeah.
France. Viva la France!
Vive la France.
Je parle français.
I don't know what that means.
I think it means I speak French.
Okay, I know omelette du fromage.
Oh, yeah. That's a cheese omelette, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
Very nice. In the bottom left-hand side of the map, and this map is called Cactus Valley, if I'm not mistaken, it is gonna be the Red Terran Millennium's MarineLorD. Hailing from the strongest country outside of Korea, and hailing from the motherland. Diego, why don't you introduce who is this?
This is the beast from Samsung Galaxy, one of the best players in the team.
Probably the ace for Samsung Galaxy.
Yes, indeed. And tied up the series, it is Solar.
Yep.
This is really big now that I think of it. This is, we're talking about Samsung Galaxy's possible ace.
Yeah.
He didn't see that.
Uh-oh.
The proxy barracks.
He didn't see the proxy barracks.
Whoa.
He missed it,
Oh my god. OMG. Solar just spotted or scouted the watchtower. MarineLorD, I like it, man. This is the kind of play that could just close out the series. I mean, this is the kind of play that champions make. This is the kind of, like, we've seen Flash do this. We've seen Jaden do this.
Yeah.
Balls of Steel.
Balls will steal. MVP.
Final game of the series.
MVP, man. He's the guy who wouldn't give a damn. Like, he would, you know, just
Yeah.
do what you
MVP.
gotta do.
Marine King.
Marine King.
The successor
Yeah.
of MarineLorD. Or the predecessor.
Yeah, predecessor.
Predecessor of MarineLorD. So this is a really nice play by MarineLorD. I like it. And we'll see how it works. I mean, a double proxy racks unscouted can be deadly. But there is something to be said about this. It is a really long map, a really long rush distance. And, you know, the barracks aren't particularly close to his opponent. So it's going to be difficult. We'll see if he does what Bravo usually does, which is try to contain and try to make some bunkers on the ramp. But Solar has no idea this is going on. So already a good start by MarineLorD, and it looks like he will be abusing the ramp as Bravo was doing yesterday. 2 bunkers here and a Marine are going to be sad news for Solar, and we're going to have to wait and see what his response is. Balls of Steel, the Frenchman wants to go to the finals of a tournament that's stacked as this. That would be an impressive feat in itself. If he manages to do this, he will have defeated 2 of Korea's strongest Zergs. But can he? Right now the Marines are not shooting. Now they are. They were ordered to shoot.
Bunkers go up. 2
Stutter
spawns are
step.
being made.
So this queen is gonna drop a creep tumor. That's her only job. MarineLorD wants to stop that creep tumor. Brilliant. But also Solar not dropping the creep tumor was actually huge. If MarineLorD had sniped that creep tumor, if the creep tumor went down and it had been sniped, that would have been gigantic. And now the creep tumor will most likely be secured. This creep tumor is actually big. There it goes. No, or it doesn't go. It goes. Okay, so the decision that he was trying to make there was, do I have enough time to let this queen just gather energy for inject, and let my other queen gather enough energy for a creep tumor? That creep tumor is gigantic because the hatchery is scheduled to fall, and with that the creep would recede, making the spines kill themselves over time. But with that creep tumor, even if the hatchery does fall, and that's gotta be part of his plan at this point in time, I'd be lying to you if I'd be like, oh, is the hatchery gonna fall? I don't know. Yeah, see, not even transfuse wasted on it. It's a lost cause. It's already been forfeited, and now he has to make something happen with these spines. And of course, spines will outrange bunkers. That is the whole premise behind this strategy. Is if I can get a creep tumor down and the creep does not recede, then I can probably or hopefully push you out with spines. But with this big of a link commitment and no surface area for them to surround these bunkers at the entrance, I'm really liking how things are looking for MarineLorD right now. He's already got a second CC started, and these Marines are actually could move into the main. Nope. Nope. That would take bolts of steel, and actually it wouldn't be a good idea probably with this many links out. This bunker will finally get surrounded and get taken down. The Marines are quick to evacuate. MarineLorD paying good attention there. And this bunker is still buying him a lot of time. However, Solar will finally be able to put down his natural. I really like MarineLorD's position here. What do you think, Diego?
I think, yeah, MarineLorD is in a very good position. He went 2 CCs, only now taking his gas, and he is containing very well, buying time. But I don't want to take credit away from Solar. I think he also did a very good job managing this. Like, even though he killed the hatch, he also spent a lot of money on containing, making more bunkers. He was still making.
He didn't overcommit or anything, though.
He didn't.
Oh, and this is beautiful, actually.
Yeah, indeed.
Very, very nice timing there by MarineLorD. He's actually gonna save all of these Marines, and I don't think Solar doesn't yet realize that those bunkers are empty. So that's actually huge. Now he does. He's like, wait, where did your people go? They're halfway across the map, past halfway across the map. Those Marines are not gonna get caught by these links. It doesn't look like it anyway. Solar should make a straight line towards the main, and MarineLorD, too smart for that, has already sent the Marines off to the side. Now these Marines could go for a counterattack, could go for a third deny if he sees, you know, the links are on the other side of the map. Oh, but Solar is much too smart. Never mind, he's kind of dumb.
Whoa.
Well, oh, whoa. Okay, he's not dumb, obviously, but like he was heading towards the Marines. He clicked towards them, or at least it seemed like it in the minimap, and then decided not to. So obviously he's not dumb, but I was saying he's really smart, and I think he had the right idea there. Now he's finally gonna see these Marines. These Marines, are they fast enough to deny the third? That would be huge. The links are running as fast as they can. Oh my gosh! Yeah, the links are gonna crush this. No problem. So the Marines just have to tuck themselves in a corner and kill as many of them as they can. These links are gonna be denying the aggression here. So well done. I'm not sure how much I like the Marine counterattack there, but I mean it can work very often. It's just the amount of links that Solar had made it a little bit too difficult for that. Still, how do you like the position of MarineLorD right now? Do you think this is a good mech map?
Yes, there is a lot of chokes. The only problem is that there are so many attack paths.
Yeah.
But yes, it's definitely a very, very viable map for mech. And
you know what though, the style of mech that the MarineLorD plays, or more than that, the style that Solar plays, anti-mech, the way that he goes really macro oriented and try to overwhelm mech by constantly trading against it, rather than having a large army or a very hard to kill army like would be, you know, Broodlords, Queens, maybe Infestors. He goes for those ultras usually in the late game, and that type of unit composition is really strong on a map this big, where there's so many bases to mine, right? Solar's if the games go as they have been going, Solar's gonna get a lot of economy and try to restrict MarineLorD potentially to 4 bases or maybe even 3 bases, and take it from there. So yeah, I don't know. MarineLorD on the same on the other side of the coin is a player that does like to get aggressive with his mech. So maybe he will not, he will delay that fourth. Maybe he will go for a 3-base timing this time around, or even a 4-base timing. You know, where he has tons of units. That's kind of what we saw last game, where MarineLorD was delaying his economy, getting tons of production, tons of army, and Solar kind of just kept butting himself against the wall. His head.
Yeah. And this is weird actually. MarineLorD, he went for double reactor instead of double tech lab on his factories. So he is gonna have a bunch of Hellions. No roaches are out yet, apparently.
Apparently not. There's a few now, but these things are gonna get roasted.
Whoa.
Those are blue flame Hellions. Does he go for drones here? I think he does.
Yeah, and those drones are gonna disappear.
A lot of them are, but many of them are evacuated as well. Gotta be careful with those chokes. The Hellions are gonna run past the roaches, and there must be other roaches already waiting for them. Oh! Lots of drones falling down one more time. Another 4 go down with that last shot from the Hellion before he dies. And what are we looking at here in terms of damage, Diego? This Banshee doing even more.
I mean, the Banshee is so wrecking everything.
20 workers have fallen this game, and this Banshee will make it 21. 22, says she. No, just 21, 22. Okay, well, that's Gucci. 22 it is.
22 drones, not bad.
Not bad. These roaches are looking for a counterattack, and that is a smart decision by Solar. He's saying, wow, if you had that many Hellions, you probably were on double reactor, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to capitalize on that. Try to capitalize on the fact that you probably delayed your tank and Thor production to make that many Hellions. So roaches are pretty good against Hellions, or so he's heard. And yeah, very nice move. It's gonna be able to push MarineLorD off of his third for the time being. Not an easy decision to make by Solar. It's, you know, moving an army of roaches like this can be pretty expensive. I mean, look at the Banshees. They're not really chasing the roaches or doing anything right now, but they could have done a lot to kill roaches for free. It's not, again, it's not an easy decision to just move that many roaches across the map this early in the game.
Mm-hmm. And we do see Hellions marching across the map. Are the roaches going to get back in time?
We'll see.
They couldn't end up dealing so much more damage. Oh.
Yeah, very well played by MarineLorD once again. He said, okay, you retreated with your roaches. If you're backing up, well, here I am. And back at his base, he's already started tank production, Thor production, so he was probably ready for a potential counter attack as well, and figured he doesn't need the Hellions right now. They're all red. Are they gonna get many volleys off? Okay. A couple more drones fall in there, making it a total of what, Diego?
Making a total of 44
Go,
drones
Diego,
killed.
go. 44 drones killed. Again, this is, I think, the map where I think we're going to see MarineLorD potentially be the aggressor. But Solar, once again, with an extremely quick hive. Potentially extremely... Actually, it's not that quick this time around. It's already 16 minutes in. But we are going to see that Viper timing attack regardless. It has been slowed down compared to other games. A really active game. It feels like we're still in the early game, but we're entering the late game phase in terms of time at least. But I mean, if we look at the army, it's very basic. Lots of trading, lots of droning, roasting.
Yeah, lots of dead Hellion pilots as well.
This is true.
But he is going for Roach Hydra Viper, and this map,
Yeah.
of all the maps we've played so far, it's probably the least favorable map for this composition, just because it's so tight and so hard to engage in.
Yeah, it is extremely tight. At the same time, that isn't the worst thing for blinding clouds, because the units are more likely to get clumped up. But more importantly, you know, if you're not able to get perfect blinding clouds, all your units are gonna be going through a choke, and going through a choke means that the tank splash damage is gonna have the greatest possible effect. So that's why we're saying this map is not particularly good for it. Another thing is Roach Hydra Viper is not particularly mobile. Hydra's famous for being slow units. The creep spread is gonna help Solar with that, but regardless, the bigger the map, the worse unit compositions that are sort of immobile get. So two things going against them, and the Hellions are actually gonna find some room here. Blinding Cloud to prevent one shot off, but it's not gonna be enough to prevent the next one. And with that, Diego, what are we at?
54.
54 workers killed in total this game by MarineLorD. Very well done. This Banshees are a great addition to the army as well. He hasn't seen Muta this time around. He didn't see Muta last game. And he's chosen to add at least three Banshees. Now Starport's being added as well. So maybe we won't be seeing that timing attack that we were talking about. It looks like MarineLorD might want to take this to the late game. Or are those Starports just to answer to Broodlords? Or is he just being safe?
No, that is, he wants to go into his late game composition of Viking, Battlecruiser, and he is landing his 4th base now. He is gonna get so much gas. He's uneven economy with solar even. So MarineLorD is looking
Very
mighty
impressive.
fine here.
Very impressive from the Frenchman, and he's about to do what Lil Bo actually did to Hydra in WCS, which is a reverse sweep. How insane is that? MarineLorD is effectively about to 3-0 Solar, if you don't count the first 2 games.
If that's a thing.
If that's a thing, right? Like if the first 2 maps hadn't been played, MarineLorD would have a shot at 3-0ing Solar right now. How amazing would that be? But 3-2 is still amazing, of course, if he manages to win. Solar is still far from out of this game. He is maxed, he does have a lot of Vipers, and he is potentially moving in here. This engagement is going to set the pace for the game. No one is going to die here, don't worry. But someone is going to trade better than the other player, and that's going to matter a lot. Looks like the tanks get the volleys off on the Hydralisks. All the Vipers fall. And with that, a successful engagement for MarineLorD, even taking care of those Overseers. But sacrificing a few Vikings,
Watch out
that
for
could be
your
really bad.
Vikings.
Okay.
But yeah, that was very nice. However, those Vikings, he is going to lose a bunch to the Hydras.
Yeah, he does end up losing a couple of Vikings there. But yeah, I mean that was held as well as he probably could have held the attack. So MarineLorD has to be pretty happy with his position.
MarineLorD is making 4 benches at a time. That is so
Oh,
much
I
DPS.
dig it. I love it. So he will be going for a timing attack, I think, Diego.
Yeah.
He is getting the battle cruisers maybe as a backup plan, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw those tanks on siege soon and move out with a bunch of Banshees.
And they're so strong too because the Vikings, they snipe the Overseers and
then they cloak Reno.
yeah, they cloak Reno and kill the Reno.
Yeah. These 3 stranded roaches are finally gonna find something to do. I think they've been sitting there all game trying to find to intercept something, and they failed pretty hard. But these 2 Hellions also getting taken down. Not before doing more damage. I would ask you what we're at, Diego, but I can't bother. It's just too many losses. Don't even tell me.
Whew.
Don't even tell me how many SCVs have, how many drones have fallen.
Man. 83 drones.
83 drones have fallen to the French.
That is painful.
Painful indeed.
And adding more command centers, and I mean, if MarineLorD wanted, he could even take a 5th base soon.
We're at. Wouldn't
Anywhere.
that be spreading himself too thin? And look at this. He's just using the Banshees to harass. They're gonna cloak and deny Solar's 5th base. That was the one single thing he had going for him. I guess he has another potential 5th base.
Oh, and he sees the
on his
ultras.
5th base.
This is really nice as well.
That is big, and Banshees are pretty good against Ultras, by the way. He could have kited to kill that Ultras potentially. Yeah, just turn around, kill some Hydras, one-shot them.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Those are expensive units, Hydras are. They're... Oh, kill the Ultra! Oh, wow. And Abducts are gonna finally put an end to the Banshee party.
Yeah, but not before them paying for themselves.
Oh, yeah, and they go back to this Viking, and they're like, protect me, brother. And the Viking's like, sure, man.
Sure, man.
I got you, bro. And then he dies a horrible death. Like, that was kind of messed up by the Banshee, wasn't it? Just go hide where the Viking is. Like, come on, man, really? Like, that's one of the things that you don't do, right? Like, if,
It's like when you're playing hide and seek and you go into a
Yeah.
spot, but someone else
yeah,
is
someone
there
else
already.
is there, and they're like, go away, and you're like, no. Like,
No,
I
man.
like it. This is a good spot. They're like, dude, they saw you come in here. Like, can you please just go away? Like they saw you come in here. Dude. He's like, no, I really actually like this spot, and I think I deserve it. And they both die for it, Diego.
There's always that guy.
There's always that guy.
And yeah, that's what I was talking about, you know, taking that 5th base.
MarineLorD not taking any risks here. A very different style from what we saw from him yesterday. But then again, he is adapting. He is playing a very different player.
Well, there are no tanks behind the planetary fortress. If Solar could identify that.
That is so difficult to identify though, because you basically have to sacrifice a unit to just check.
Yeah, I guess that's where changelings come in.
Yeah, that would be good. He does have a lot of energy on those overseers. The Vipers, great focus firing by MarineLorD. He's like, oh, you made overseers to soak up shots? I don't care. That Ultras is gonna take a Yamato to his back, but the Queens are there to heal him. They will be transfusing him to half HP. You don't get the full thing, Ultralisk, just because. Like, if you think about it though, Diego, there's no reason to not transfuse that Ultralisk to full right now, because those Queens are gonna have to use the transfuse at some point, and it doesn't matter when you do it. It just matters that they get their value out of it. So that Ultralisk falls up pretty fast, and that could have been all avoided by using a little bit of energy on one of those Queens. They have plenty of energy and plenty of time to replenish that energy. So again, an unnecessary loss, but perhaps insignificant in the greater scheme of things. We'll see. If this game is won or lost by one Ultralisk or the equivalent resources, then we're gonna have to say something about that lack of transfuse right there. But for the time being, battle cruisers are the main problem that Solar is gonna have to be facing. So maybe he will look to trade those Ultras somehow, some way. He has to try and find an opening at one of the outer expansions that MarineLorD has, and slow him down. He really has to do something here. That's too much economy for a Terran player. He was easily able to secure that 5th base, Diego.
Yeah, and he's gonna mule hammer those patches so hard.
It's crazy, man. Look at that. Look at those mules.
Yeah, wow.
They're actually just going insane.
Mules, man. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
And you know, as he moves up, actually taking that base is very beneficial for him, because it makes it easier to take the corner base. And once the Terran takes that corner base, it's just so damn hard for the Zerg to contest it.
Yeah, that would be a split map scenario for all intents and purposes. I mean, he would be liking one base, but on a map where you can secure this many bases, a base may not even make a difference. If your opponent is looking not for the cost-efficient war, but the war in which he's gonna be trading the entire time with a better economy, like Solar has been. Again, if you're new to StarCraft, you see they're both maxed out. You see the Zerg has creep all over the place. You see the Zerg has multiple bases, and you see he has a higher bank. But it is actually MarineLorD who has been doing fantastic this game. I am not saying that that, you know, like, despite this, Zerg is gonna lose. That's not how it works. The way it works is things have been going well for MarineLorD. He's been taking the right engagements. However, this could change things. Let's look at this really quick, because the army is not in position. This is an exposed base, potentially a few SCVs falling down here. The Vikings are gonna come and try to kill those Vipers if they can. Gotta be careful with those battle cruisers. One is gonna get abducted, second one gets abducted and brought down by the Hydralisks. Now the rest of the army is here for MarineLorD, and Solar is gonna smartly back away, but not before overextending a little bit. So anyway, what I was trying to say is, because of the way the game has been going, MarineLorD has been able to do what he wants to do with his unit composition, despite Solar doing the best that he can from the position that he has been put in, with fantastic creep spread, taking all those bases. He is not going for an army that is designed to trade effectively against a Terran unit composition, right? There are armies that Zerg has that can trade somewhat well with mech. Fungal, for example, is a fantastic tool, because if you fungal anything, that only costs energy. And even if you can't kill any units, or it's extremely hard to chain fungal mech units, repair costs money. So that is the sort of thing that you want to think about going into if you want to play a game of cost efficiency where the map is going to be split. That is not in the plan of Solar, and because of it, his resources lost is already 4,000 higher than MarineLorD's. So again, if the map gets split and MarineLorD is able to defend his half of the map, that could be enough to grant him a victory in this series, in this game, and this series by proxy. Here we have the tanks repositioning. MarineLorD really wants the split. He really wants to land that CC. Is he going to be able to? This is the point of contention right here. This is what Solar has to stop at all costs.
No, and those ultras, they're stuck there, man.
They are. But are the battlecruisers stuck? Oh, Solar not paying attention. The Vipers are way too close. Sure, you can abduct them to the Vipers, but that's barely moving them. And 4 Vipers are 800 gas. That is not cheap. Sure, it looks like Solar has a ton of bank, but 4 Vipers, when you look at the great scheme of things, that's 10% of the gas bank that he has. So it is a huge deal.
Yeah, and Solar hasn't been replenishing his anti-air. Like he's making 8 Hydras to complement his 5 Hydras, so even if he abducts battle cruisers, he doesn't have enough DPS to take them down.
Indeed. Not that many units, and that's an issue for Solar because he has 97 drones. So his army composition is tiny compared to MarineLorD's. And look at this, splitting 2 tanks. These tanks may very well be able to take this base because Solar has to move his entire army from the top right hand side of the map to deal with them. This Ultralisk conveniently just popping out of this base is going to be able to finally clear that out, but Solar will be losing some control of his side of the map, and this is looking grim for the DreamHack champion. Like, look at the bank. The bank is actually fantastic for MarineLorD. It is also very impressive for Solar, but again, we're heading towards a split map situation. Solar doesn't have a lot of time to work with, man. These bases, the more they mine, and the later this game goes, the better it is for MarineLorD.
Indeed. And he's gonna go for the flank here, but I don't see this working at all, cats.
Oh no, this is just demolition derby right here, and it seems like
however, he is transitioning to Corruptors, and there are no Ravens in the battlefield.
Yeah, these are 41 Corruptors though. It's not 40, make it 44. Okay, that is a lot of Corruptors. I mean, it is a lot of Corruptors, but it could be a lot more Corruptors, right? Like, it could be 70 Corruptors if his drone count was low enough, and it's just not. He does have the bank for it though. Like, this is the last remax that Solar has. And there's 6 Ravens in production. MarineLorD just a beast. Scans the Corruptors going out immediately. 6 Ravens and 6 Vikings in production. A turret ring all over the place. Solar is looking for that army. He can't find the air army. That's huge. The longer he waits, the longer it takes for him to find that air army, the more useless this army becomes. This army is meant to be like, okay, you don't have the answer to this right now. I'm gonna take advantage of that right now. He can't just sacrifice this army. He's in a really awkward position now where he's gonna have to potentially force a fight by making Broodlords. There's no other way to force the issue. He wanted to trade before making those Broodlords. Oh my god. Oh no!
Oh, what a mistake.
What a mistake. Canceling the Broodlords was a huge mistake. There basically drains his entire bank. The reason he canceled them was because he was doing a sport trick and didn't realize... actually, no, there was no reason to cancel them, right? But he did do a sport trick, but maybe he was trying to cancel the spores and cancel the Broodlords.
It was probably a mistake.
Yeah, so he was probably trying to cancel the spores and instead cancel the Broodlords. A little bit unfortunate. But yeah, here we go. Now Solar is completely committed to this. Once again, no infestors in his army. If you have no infestors with this type of army, the Vikings can kite forever, they can clump forever, they can be as efficient as possible. So we'll see what he's able to accomplish here. The Corruptors are very clumped up. Hunter-Seeker missiles could be a possibility. And I see some Corruptors glowing red. Oh, but great move by Solar in moving in the middle of the army there by MarineLorD. But it seems like MarineLorD just has too much anyway. And Solar is going to have to use his entire bank just to get maxed out again, if he can even do that. I don't even know if he can. It's going to be it's gonna be getting ugly for the Korean Overlord here.
Yeah, those Brood Lords are long dead Brood Lords. The Corruptors are pretty much
Again, like
useless
Fungal
now.
would have been great even here.
Yeah, like
You really need infestors with that army composition.
you need energy units overall, you know. As
You
a
need
third.
energy units overall, especially if you're looking to trade efficiently. I think that Solar's strategy, not just this game, but the whole series, I think that his approach to mech is always to brute force it type thing. And you know, this could have been a map where he may have been able to do that, but MarineLorD had an edge from the start, and he's just managed to play this out brilliantly. Really very few mistakes, if any at all, by the Frenchman this game, at least in terms of strategy. He's been doing everything that he needs to do, securing himself bases, understanding what his win condition for this game is, and just executing flawlessly. So Solar in a really awkward spot where he's having trouble even maxing out, and he has to contest not just a mech army, but the ultimate Terran mech army.
Yeah. And MarineLorD has so many bases by now.
Yeah. There is a bright side for Solar, and that is that MarineLorD has a lot of Vikings. So remaxing on ground is, you know, the best thing that he can do here. The Vikings are not going to have any use against ground unless they land. And when they land, they are very cost inefficient. But actually, picking off 2 battle cruisers here is pretty nice for him as well.
Indeed.
So, okay, making a little bit of progress. The Ultras actually managed to get this base. We'll see if they are able to escape. It looks like they will. Yamato Cannon goes down on single Ultras to take him down, and that's the right thing to do, of course. Otherwise, they will just get transfused. So, job well done. This base actually gets harassed to death as well. What are we at in terms of harvesters? Only 20 for MarineLorD, actually.
Yeah, barely enough to gather the gas.
Yeah, and that's, yeah, that's really painful, because you really need now, like, the mules are taking care of the mining in the mineral front. How many command centers do we have? Because that's actually important. He has a gas bank, so another
9.
base taken down by Solar, though, making this game a lot closer than I thought it would be. I thought it was over. I thought MarineLorD had it, but Solar, out of nowhere, after losing his entire air fleet, is managing to make a comeback here. Perhaps MarineLorD overcommitted to the Viking numbers and the Raven numbers. So we see the banks are completely drained out now. Another Ultralist falls, and at this point, every unit, ouch, every unit counts. The bigger the unit, the more it counts.
We're down to 1 Ultraman
That is painful.
and 69 drones. Craigasm.
Craigasm. So yeah, the economy of Solar is actually far healthier than MarineLorD's because of how many drones he has. The army for MarineLorD is far scarier, however. Look at those PDDs go. Nothing is gonna fall here for MarineLorD. This might actually be lights out for Solar if he just keeps bumping his head here. It's not a good idea. I mean, you're not gonna trade effectively against that. Buy yourself time. But perhaps he doesn't identify that he has the better economy, so he's just trying to close out the game as fast as he can, because he assumes, okay, if we're kind of even on bases and I'm not mining a lot, I'm not feeling good about this. It's really easy to feel that way against mech. And more Ultras in production, I don't like this at all. What is 1 or 2 Ultras gonna do, Diego? Not much. I mean, they can get Yamato. 2 Yamatos will take down an Ultralisk. There are so many battle cruisers. If you can overwhelm on the ground where there aren't enough battle cruisers, so the Ultras are just always going to be killing something, then that's something. Then that's a way to look at it. The only reason I see to make Ultras here is going to be to try and keep denying and contesting that base up on the top. I don't see... it seems like Solar is moving his army downwards. I don't think that going for production or the main at this point is going to be something that's going to win him the game, because he doesn't have enough economy to replenish that army. So what that means to me is that MarineLorD or Solar has to take a good engagement, but more than that, he has to keep denying the economy of MarineLorD, because in my opinion, that's all that matters right now. He is going for the throat, and right now he's going to force an engagement that he cannot win. So I don't know. I think that, yeah, I think the MarineLorD will just crush here.
Secret missiles.
They're not gonna go down. Nice. Oh, this Viper? Okay.
These Helmets.
But yeah, this is what I'm saying. Even, okay, this is brilliant by Solar. Now that he's pulled the army off position, he goes to do what he was set out to do the entire time, to deny that base. I was gonna say, like the situation that I was imagining is what happens if Solar breaks that PF, as he did, and then goes inside and sieges production. What happens after that, Diego?
Well, as of right now, I don't think Solar's army can defeat
MarineLorD's, right?
MarineLorD's army.
So if he committed to go in and siege the production, I think what would happen is MarineLorD would have just pulled back his army,
crushed his army,
crushed Solar's army, and that would be the end of the game. That's why I'm saying the only place that should matter for MarineLorD is the top expansion. And I think that the only reason Solar is trying to pull him off position is to go and keep denying that, right? I think that that's Solar's plan right now, is saying, come, bring your very slow army over here, so I can keep denying your base at the top, and while making better or more army or more stuff with my better economy. Because this engagement is literally... Oh, the fungal! Oh, the fungals are fantastic, but is there a follow-up? This could be huge. There are two more. Not chaining them properly. There's a lot of units that are going to survive out of this, but it's enough. This is huge. This is gigantic. All the Vikings are in the red. Oh my god, he has to land the Vikings right now. Those Vikings are not doing anything at all. Now he realizes it. I'm not sure what he was looking at, if not this fight, but holy crap,
they are
is
so
Solar making this close.
Man. One more fungal.
Look at that, like,
all those
how much HP does that battle cruiser has? 13 HP. That's gigantic. Look at the supplies now. What an engagement by Solar, and we see the power of fungal. This is what we were talking about. That's the kind of efficiency that you need. MarineLorD not seeing fungal the entire series, got caught with his pants down a little bit, and these battle cruisers, can they fight this many Hydras even? Not really. They're gonna fall. Oh my god, is Solar doing this?
Wow, Solar with that money fungal.
Oh my god, that money fungal, and money it means to most people who bet on this match, but oh, this is just
and those Vikings are just gonna land to their death.
I'm getting a dead red hook.
Wow.
5 minutes ago, Diego, I would have said there's no way MarineLorD loses this.
Yeah.
But wow, those fungals, man. Those 4 or so fungals just ended the game. Those fungals and the fact that MarineLorD didn't land the Vikings. There was no support for those battle cruisers on the ground. There were 5 or 6 battle cruisers shooting at the entire army on the ground. 1 tank, maybe.
Yeah.
Nothing else on the ground. And not enough battle cruisers, really. MarineLorD's got to be really upset about this one because he had it in the bag. He really played an excellent series and a brilliant game, but went full foreigner at the very end there. And Solar showing why he is the player that he is and the caliber of player that he is, just not just hanging in there, but somehow converting that into a win. Just very impressive.
As I said, like the name of the game against mech is energy units. You need either infestors or vipers. These are the playmakers that you need.
And Solar always had like a few Vipers.
Yeah.
He always had 3 or 4 Vipers, and that's fantastic for blinding clouds and whatnot, and for timing attacks. But the later it gets, you probably want a bunch of Vipers, so that you know you get a bunch more abducts and trade a lot more efficiently. Same goes for that engagement with the Corruptors. If he had Infestors there, he trades a lot more cost efficiently. If nothing else, he forces the Vikings to fan out and potentially at least search for the area where the Vikings are weak, right? If you're forcing your opponent to spread out their army, then there's an engagement where you can take from one side, where you're going to have more units shooting at your opponent's army for longer, and that can turn the tides. So if for no other reasons, even if you miss every fungal, it will force a reaction out of your opponent. Just a couple of infestors are never bad to add to a unit composition, especially if it's against something that clumps. But with that, Solar is going to take the 3-2 victory against MarineLorD. Very, very close, exciting series. Next up, it's going to be Snoot against Hydra. And what a matchup that's going to be. It's going to